Welcome to the sound check here in Las Cruces. Hobbs Eagles taking on Oregon Mountain Live. Various different locations tonight. Cool 95.7 on the radio, HobbsAmerica.com, the YouTube Hobbs Sports page, and the Cool 95.7 Facebook page. Video coverage, of course, and the audio as well. We're about 4 minutes out from our actual pregame show, which will get going about 5:45. Hobbs taking on Oregon Mountain. Of course, the Eagles 15-13 on Oregon Mountain Knights 23-4 record, 23 wins and 4 losses. So those are the two teams playing in this one. Of course, the Eagles come in with the number 12 seed and Oregon Mountain at number 5. This is the third time they played this season. Oregon Mountain has won both of those games by 3 and 9 points. So this is the sound check. Don't want to burn off the whole pregame show here. Testing 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Ron?
All right, doing a sound check. This is the Hobbs Eagles playoff sponsor list, and we want to thank everybody. We got a few extras, starting with IPS, XL Energy, Lasco Construction, Rent a Center, Outlaw Grill, DNC Electric, RM's S Foods, Hobbs Rental, Thriftway, along with La Tienda, Lobo Trucking, Eunice Pump and Supply, Albertsons Market, NMR Pipeline, Coffee House, R360, SunGuard Precision, Hydrotech Services, and Divine Energy. Thank you very much.
That is the sound check for this ball game. Hobbs versus Oregon Mountain here in the first round of the state playoffs. We will take about 2 minutes and come back with the pregame show live on HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and Cool 95.7 on the radio. Welcome, everyone, to Las Cruces, New Mexico. Time for Hobbs Eagle Playoff Basketball. Live on Cool 95.7 on the radio and in 3 locations on the internet, HobbsAmerica.com, the YouTube Hobbs Sports page, and the Cool 95.7 Facebook page. Ty, friend, Ron Gutter, Max back at the station tonight. Your Hobbs Eagles in the first round of the state playoffs, the number 12 seed, taking on number 5 Oregon Mountain. Ron, a team this Eagles squad has played twice this season. Pretty close ball games, 3 and 9 points, losing both times, one at the holiday tournament and one previous to that. But still, pretty tough showing with this team, even though they did win twice against the Eagles. I think this is kind of a decent matchup for Hobbs compared to some other ones they could have had. I
think this is actually their best bet on matchups because, look, they played them in December. They were still young. They were still trying to figure out their pace. They were trying to figure out their role in the game. This is a young team. So I believe that they can come out here. If they come out here strong and finish with a good fourth quarter, I think Hobbs has a real good chance of taking this Oneida East Night team all the way in for a victory.
Of course, the Hobbs Eagles lost their last game of the district tournament to Carlsbad, and that was a 15-point loss, which actually was the best showing between the 3 games they've had, 29, 17, and then down to 15. But still, not enough of production in terms of scoring. Michael Mackey finished with 10 points in that game, and, of course, he's been leading the season in scoring for the state of New Mexico in the 5A, going around 23 points a ball game. So that wasn't one of the best games offensive production. Carlsbad, though, holds teams to the mid to high 40s most of the season, so that's a big question mark there. How do you score against a team like that? But we should say tonight, Oregon Mountain is in the same boat with defensively. They hold teams under 50 points a ball game as well.
Yeah, and that's what they live on. They don't try to go too hard. As far as Hobbs, they do. They try to go to offense and defense. All Oregon Mountain does is just make sure that they score a little bit more than the other opponent does. They're not going for records or anything. They've got some great scorers. In fact, in the first game against Oregon Mountain against Hobbs, they actually had about 3 players in double digits. In the second game, they only had 1 player in double digits. That's something that Hobbs needs to look and work on. As if they can keep everybody under double digits, if they can get those rebounds, if they can also do some other things like go ahead and box them out, making sure that they get some good defense. And, of course, the main thing is this: keep them off the foul line. Now, they're not always a great team, Oregon Mountain is, on the foul line, but when they are, they go 100% or they go 50%. You never know which team is going to come out and shoot, so you don't want to put them on the line to take that chance.
They are 72% on the line this season, but in the series with the Eagles, the 2 games that they've had, Hobbs has actually shot better at the free throw line, 61% compared to 60 for Oregon Mountain. Those are both games at Tasker Arena, though. We should put that little disclaimer in there. Hobbs was 34 of 55, and Oregon Mountain 34 of 56, almost identical numbers there, very close, but a 1% difference in favor of the Eagles. We'll take a little bit of a breakdown on that, on different stats between the 2 teams in just a minute. But the Hobbs Eagles coming to this tournament, kind of wondering if they're going to move up a few spots from 12. They were sitting there during the Max Preps poll through much of the last 3 quarters of the season. Thought they might move up to 11 or 10, but they didn't give them that nod. That was kind of weird because there was a tie between Oregon Mountain and Carlsbad for the slot that Oregon Mountain got with the tiebreaker. We could have ended up playing Carlsbad for the 4th time this season today.
Exactly, either that or if we would have hit 11, then we definitely would have been playing Carlsbad. Yeah, it was a slippery slope. We are lucky enough that we didn't have to face Carlsbad a 4th time, even though most people say it's hard to beat a team 4 times. It is done. It can be done. And by the way, this is the 65th trip for the playoffs for the Hobbs Eagles. So, and they are number 1 in the state as far as that. No other team has had 65 trips to the playoffs, and we're hoping for a big run on this one, regardless of how they play tonight. I think they're going to do well, and I think they can go into the 2nd round.
And what about state championships, too?
Yeah, state championships, they do lead in that as well. In fact, they have 17, of course, banners, 1 ahead of Hope Christian, and we haven't had a trip down there since, 2015.
Yeah, definitely would like to try to add another banner to their numbers. We should mention, too, it was good to see Abraham Payton get back up in the double-digit scoring column as he did against Carlsbad last week. Had 18 points, led the team, also had 3 trays in the contest as well. And that's definitely good to see. He had a couple of games, a little bit of a lull there, but definitely getting himself back in shooting form to lead the Eagles against Carlsbad. Good news, too, Braylon Vega is back, one of the youngest kids on the team, a freshman, but he likes to shoot the tray. He had a concussion protocol through last week's games, did not get to play. He is going to be on the court tonight, so that's good to see him added to the mix. Should mention, too, they're going to start Peyton Hodge in the starting lineup tonight, so he's going to be one of those thrashers. He loves to go to the hole, take it hard off the dribble, and strive for it, and he's very tenacious on defense as well. That's another added touch. He usually comes off 6th or 7th man on the bench, but still some good power and energy out there for the Eagles.
Yeah, as long as he doesn't get into foul trouble, I am hopeful that he will do well this game. He had a little struggle last time he started, but I think that was just nerves and everything. You know how it is, first time you start, you have a bit of a tendency to try to outplay yourself, or at least play really well for the coach and make him impress. And instead, all you do is just go out there and fumble over your own feet sometimes. So hopefully those nerves are already gone. Like I said, this team has been working all season long to gain strength and be able to get back into it. And I think this game is definitely going to prove that they have gone the right way.
We should mention, too, that the Eagles have played 8 teams that are in the state tournament already this year, 8 out of the 16, so 50% of those teams Hobbs has had experience against. Record not the best at 3-11, but at the same time, good experience against Rio Rancho, of course, his Oregon Mountain team, West Mesa, Santa Fe, Los Lunas, Las Cruces High, Carlsbad, and Cleveland. And several of those teams near the tops in the state. Los Lunas at number 3. Oregon Mountain's number 5 we're playing tonight. West Mesa at number 4. Cleveland at number 7. So some good experience. The wins the Eagles got, of course, Rio Rancho, they beat them. They also were able to knock off Santa Fe. And so those are some good quality wins there for the Eagles so far this season. So Las Cruces was the other team that they beat on the road down in Las Cruces. So good thumbs up on those wins. I think that experience is something for a young team. You know, fans are sitting around going, hey, I don't like the record, but at the same time, you know, it is 15-13. They came out, got some good experience for these kids and move up the next couple of years. And I think it was the best games outside of the kind of the regional that we've been seeing over the last few years. Hobbs trying to pick up anybody that will play him in West Texas or down in the South. It's kind of hard to do. Las Cruces District possibly in the Southwest. But still, going up to the APS tournament and seeing all those teams like West Mesa, even Del Norte, who's not in our division, but still a quality team. I mean, that's good experience. And again, you know, fans don't want to just see, you know, let's have a practice season to get these younger kids up. But at the same time, they're here. They're at the state tournament again. Yeah,
and it's great that we had a difficult season as it was because, you know, it challenges you. Yeah, you lose a few, but, you know, as they say certain times, you know, you lose and you learn a lot more from those losses than you do ever from the wins. And so this team should have learned a whole lot. And experience-wise, they should be up there as far as good tournament state team to be able to beat this Knights team and go on to the next round.
Of course, we mentioned the Eagles have played this squad twice this season, 71-68. That was taking place at the Hobbs Holiday Tournament, just a 3-point loss in that one. And previous to that, I said it wrong the first time tonight, Oregon Mountain defeated Hobbs 60-51 in the other game. In terms of the scoring in those two contests, Michael Mackey averaging 17.5 in those two games. He had 27 in one, 8 in the other. He was also second in rebounding, had a total of 7 rebounds against Oregon Mountain. So he is a leader in terms of scoring at this point. Behind him, Abraham Pena averaged 15 points and actually more consistent scoring in both games, 14 in the first game, 16 in the second game, and also shot 71% from the line. Should mention Mackey shot 81% against Oregon Mountain, but those were games that were both at Tasker Arena. So those two guys definitely going to help out the cause, averaging 32.5 together with Mackey and Pena. Other than that, in terms of scoring, as you look on down the list, nobody else getting close to double digits on the average. Although Chris Archibald did manage 4.5 points a game, he was a leading rebounder with 10 in the two games, so he averaged 5 a contest. Definitely going to have to use some of his size and good screens that he does on the perimeter game offensively to help the Eagles get open for some shots from the outside. So those are the numbers in terms of the top scores against Oregon Mountain so far. On the other side of the coin, though, if you take a look at Oregon Mountain's numbers, you really got to have to put an eye, as you usually do, on Brandon Karras. He averaged 14 points a game, 13 in one game, 15 in the other. He was 10 of 12 from the charity stripe for 83% and had the most rebounds for either team with 17, about 8.5 a game. Karras is the guy that's going to continue to battle on the boards, Ron, and definitely something that the Eagles have to be very cognizant about in the paint. Probably going to have to put a couple of guys on him and bumping him around inside the court towards the basket there.
It looks from their schedule, or at least from their stats, it looks like they don't take a whole lot of threes, but I'm sure if they get started, they're going to continue on. However, they are great in the paint, and that's something that Hobbs is definitely going to have to close down is the lanes, be able to get those turnovers, get the rebounds on either side of the floor, and also just make sure that they press occasionally, kind of throw off the Oregon Knights offense. That will help them produce more points And, of course, if they get through that fourth quarter, they've had troubles with that, then they can get this victory definitely.
Now, Karras is the leading scorer on the team with 13.6 a game, but he's not the leading scorer against the Eagles. We mentioned him getting 14 a game, but actually, Yanani Wilson had 14.5 points against the Eagles, 16 and 13 in respective games. He was almost perfect at the charity stripe, 7 of 8 for 87%. So Karras and Wilson, some guys the Eagles are going to have to look out for in terms of their point production. Also, Ethan Pack, he had, not him, he was one of the lower scorers, but let's see, Paciano had 10 points, 15 in one game, 5 in the other. He also was the leading rebound with 13 boards, averaging 6.5 a contest. So different guys are stepping up, and that's one thing you see on the stats of this Organ Mountain team. They don't have guys all averaging in the double figures, all 13.5 for Karras, but they have a bunch of guys hovering near 10, 9, 8 points a ball game. A lot more balanced scoring versus the Hobbs Eagles. Hobbs has really been waiting to see a Pena, and of course Mackey can put the big points in there, but they're going to have other people step up tonight to help put some points in the board.
I know, unfortunately, Hobbs hasn't had consistency as far as scoring other than Mackey and Pena occasionally, but not always. We're looking for Acosta, maybe even Troy Piates come back strong, or even Braylon Vega. He can hit the threes if he gets his stroke in there, and I believe that if he is undefeated, or of course, nobody puts a body on him, he can definitely stroke those threes as many times as he wants.
Organ Mountain leads the rebounding battle with the Eagles 59-35 in their 2 games so far. In terms of free throws, Hobbs in the lead there, 61-60%. And in the turnovers, actually better than Organ Mountain as well. Eagles have only had 21 turnovers so far in the 2 games. Organ Mountain with 36, 15 more, although they do got the 2 W's when the games are all said and done. Get close to the national anthem here in Las Cruces. Your Hobbs Eagles, the number 12 seed against number 5 Organ Mountain. We will be back in 90 seconds on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Welcome back to Las Cruces. National anthem just wrapping up here at Organ Mountain High School. Your Hobbs Eagles taking on the Knights. The Eagles, the number 12 seed, the Knights at 5. Take a look at the starters in this ball game. First of all, for Organ Mountain, Brian Gonzalez, he is a senior, one of their guards at 6 foot. as Brian Gonzalez comes into this ball game averaging 8.7 points a contest, one of their leading scorers on the season. And bear with us here at the gym tonight. They have turned the lights out up in the crowd, including us up here, so very hard to see anything we've got written down here. Aiden Pacini also on the court tonight, a senior, 6'2". He's averaging 8.1 points a game. You can kind of see a trend here, some very balanced scoring on this Organ Mountain team. Amron Bynum, number 4, he's a senior guard, so their top 3, 2, 3, and 4 are seniors. He is 6'2" as well. Bynum averaging 7.8 points a game. He's also second in steals at 1.3. Yenny Wilson, a senior, or making a junior guard at 6'2", number 12. He's averaging 9.2 points a game. He's second leading scorer on the squad. And last but not least, their top scorer, Brandon Karras. He averages 13.6 a game, the top rebounder as well at 8.7. This Organ Mountain team is averaging 45% from the field in terms of their shooting. They are 37% from three-point range and hitting 72% of their free throws this season. Again, you mentioned this earlier, Ron. They definitely going to have to, Eagles have to watch out, not putting them on the line too much. Don't let them get that quick first step to the basket and put some pressure on the perimeter as well. For your Hobbs Eagles, the starters, Michael Mackey, as he has all season, up close to 23 points a game at 22.8. Tops in the state of New Mexico in the 5A. He's first in rebounds for the team, 6.1. First in assists, 2.5. And first in steals at 2.3. A triple threat there on the stats besides the scoring. Abraham Pena, second in scoring on the team, 12.9 a game, second in assists, 2.4, and steals a game, 1.2. We mentioned Hodge getting his start, Peyton Hodge tonight at 4.6 a game. He is also second on the team in steals at 1.2. Jordan Chisholm, one of the post players, the senior at 6'1". He's averaging 4.5 a game and second in rebounding at 3.2. Last but not least, Chris Archibek, averaging 3.1 a game. He is third on the team in rebounding at 2.9. The Eagles, in terms of shooting from the field so far this season, at 45%, just like Organ Mountain. A little bit lower on the numbers for the 3 points. They are 33% from the perimeter range, 37 for Organ Mountain. And free throws, Hobbs at 63, again 72 for Organ Mountain. Hobbs averaging 7.8 steals a game and 8.4 for Organ Mountain. And the Eagles with the turnovers at 17.4 a game. Don't have stats for Organ Mountain on that particular category there. So Hobbs coming into this contest trying to pick off the number 5 seed. Of course, that will move them on if they get the win to the quarterfinal round, as the Eagles would face the winner of West Mesa and Santa Fe in the second round. That's the quarterfinals coming up later in the week. Of course, Hobbs with already a history against both of those teams. They did lose to West Mesa by double digits, but they beat Santa Fe up there at the APS tournament.
Exactly, and it'd be remiss to say that we've got the number 1, we got the MVP for the 5A district, or actually just, 5A district, Michael Mackey. He got that award just last week.
Yeah, definitely. He's people have been watching him all over the state of New Mexico. That should help him out after his high school days are over. Again, the Organ Mountain Knights, a 23-4 record. They are averaging 60.3 points a game offensively and only giving up 49.5, so less than 50 points a ball game. That's where their bread and butter is, playing some tough defense. Hobbs averaging 59.6, just slightly behind Organ Mountain, and only giving up 58.9 points a contest. So lots of low scoring around the state this year, and teams seem to be kind of contending with the scores around the state as well. The 4 losses this season for Organ Mountain. Volcano Vista, the number 1 team, knocked them off pretty big, 80-63. They also lost to Los Lunas back in January by 2, 58-56. Also in January, lost to Carlsbad by 3, 52-49. And kind of the head scratcher was in February. They lost to Alamogordo by 11, 63-52. But that was because of bad shooting, 39% from the field, 16% from three-point range. And they held Karras to 6 points and 6 rebounds in that game. So definitely not a good game for them against Alamogordo. And they also only shot 55% on the free throw line, which is 17% worse than their average on the season. So teams can step up and kind of get under the skin of this Organ Mountain team. Hopefully that's what the Eagles can do here tonight.
Exactly. I would love to see a very good offensive defensive struggle on both sides. Of course, I'd like to see Hobbs win. I also believe that they can do that if they keep the rebounds going, they keep the turnovers down, they also keep the foul count down, and make sure that they don't do any mistakes in the fourth quarter. No, don't try to hurry yourself up. You lose the ball that way, and you lose possession, and of course, you lose the game.
Hobbs starts with their black uniforms, white numbers, and gold trim, and the Knights in the white uniforms and gray on the numbers. It looks like Karras will be jumping up against Mackey. He tips into the backcourt, and it will be Organ Mountain basketball to get this one started. Coming to the front court, drilling off to the left wing is Wilson. Hands it off on the left side to Bynum. Back to the time arc and backs out against Hodge. Kicks it down to the right corner to Karras. Karras goes baseline. Good body up there by Chris Archibald. The ball fumbled out of bounds due to the defense of Archibald. Standing solid. That will be the first turnover for the Knights here in the first half.
Good start.
Payne will get the inbound. He'll slow it up. He has a defender at the timeline. That is Gonzalez. Have to use my flashlight here just to call this ball game. Sorry about that. Pena comes around the left circle and unloads it over to Hodge. Dribbles up in front of the Oregon Mountain bench to the baseline. Jump stop in the left block. Kicks it left elbow for the shot. And Archibald there offensively as well to put down the first points for the Eagles, who lead early 2-0. 7:20 left here in the first quarter. A 1-2-2 trap full court for the Eagles. They get it down court to Garris in the left corner. Karras, he takes a few stumble steps before going to the hole. They call it travel. And already Coach Gonzalez not a happy camper. 2 turnovers on the first 2 possessions for Oregon Mountain.
Yeah, Oregon Mountain not looking sharp so far in this game. Good for Hobbs.
Abraham Payne will take his time with the dribble once again against Gonzalez through the time stripe into the front court. Gives it off to Hodge on the left wing with the jab step. Gets a screen from Mackey. Top of the circle. Extends down the right lane. Kicks the right corner. A 3 on the way for Chisholm. An air ball. Loose on the baseline. Karras got a piece of it for Oregon Mountain, but he lost control of it right to the cheerleaders. It'll be Hobbs basketball on that right baseline. And they'll have it underneath their hoop, leading by 2. Hodge to inbound. Into Mackey left corner, fires an 18-footer off the rim, front and back. It comes off, and Karras gets a rebound for Oregon Mountain. And he'll get it off to his guard. That's Yane Wilson. Crossover move, taking on Hodge into the front court. About the same size as his defender. Lost the ball on his shoulder, but able to recover. One hands over to Gonzalez on the right wing. Well outside the perimeter. Chisholm guards him. Up top to Karras. Swings it to the right side to Pacini. Up top, 3 on the way for Gonzalez. Off the pass, off the back of the rim. Ball's tipped out of bounds. Mackey tried to rip it down on the left base. It goes off his hands, and it will be the Knights basketball underneath their hoop, trailing by 2.
Hobbs showing a little hustle here, and I love it. They need to do that all through the game.
Inbound for Gonzalez on the left base. Kicks it back, top of the circle to Pacini. Fadeaway jumper for 3 out the back of the rim, no good. Pulled down on the left baseline, and off to the races. Chisholm sends it ahead to Mackey. Spin move on the right block and lays it in for 2. Mackey with his first bucket of the ball game, and Chisholm's first rebound. Eagles up 4-0. Knight fans kind of wonder what's going on here at their home gym. Bounce pass across the timeline. Down the lane, Gonzalez tries a scoop shot going through 2 defenders, Chisholm and Archibald. And he kind of forced that ball up underneath their arms that time, and they get the foul on the Eagles. They call that against Chisholm. That'll be his first and the first team foul against the Eagles. That will be a shooting foul as well, as Gonzalez will step up to shoot the 2 free throws. Gonzalez on the season from the charity stripe at 72%, just like the team average, as he makes his first free throw there.
And it bounced around the rim, and it finally sunk in.
Make it 4-1 score in favor of the Eagles. Second shot is up and good, as Gonzalez gets both free throws for the first points for the Knights. 4-2 your score, Hobbs by 2. Payne with the basketball. His guard defensively, Gonzalez at the timeline as he brings it across off the dribble. Crossover move, sends it over to the left wing. Archibald with a pivot, gets it stripped from behind off the steal from Gonzalez for the first Eagle turnover. Throws it across the timeline, and slowing it down with the breaks is Bynum at the top of the circle. Over to right wing to Gonzalez in front of the Hobbs Eagle bench. Gets a screen from Karras, fires up a 3, a fade shot off the front of the rim, no good. Pulled down by Chisholm on the right block. Sends it ahead to Mackey, a 1-on-3, a cradle coming down the lane. Lays it off the glass, they're going to count the basket. Boy, that was an NBA continuation if you ever did see one. The Oregon Mountain fans not liking that. Definitely a foul. They gave Mackey a few extra steps to move it up to the hole that time as he got ripped from behind. Count it for Mackey. That'll be his second bucket of the ball game. I believe they charged Pacini with that one, his first. That'll be the first Oregon Mountain team foul.
And if you're a Hobbs fan, you want to see Mackey go to drive in, get those fouls, and make sure he gets those layups as well. He got the layup easily and the one.
77% on the season, makes his free throw, counted. He's got 5 points. The Eagles got their biggest lead now of 5, 7-2 here in the first quarter. Couple of passes across the timeline. Gonzalez on the right wing, bounce it down low, going up high as Karras off the right block, misses it and tried to tip, didn't get it to drop. Pulled down for the Eagles by Abraham Pena. Hand off to Hodge, he'll come across the timeline, crossover with his left hand, throws it out to Mackey on the left wing. Bounce it back to Pena at the time stripe with a 5-point lead, 5:13 remaining in the first. Into the left elbow to Archibald, pivots, hands it off to Pena, fade away from the left baseline, off the front of the rim, no good, loose in the paint, a battle, and putting it down is Hodge, he gets stripped. And they're going to give a foul on the reach against Oregon Mountain, so Hodge with his first rebound. Hobbs already with 4 boards compared to just 1 for Oregon Mountain. We talked about rebounds in the pregame show, Ron.
Exactly. We want to see more of those happen so that way there's less chances that Oregon Mountain has to be able to score.
Hobbs on the left base underneath the Eagles hoop, finds a man. Pena with a fade shot from the right block, comes off the glass and the rim, no good. Karras with the rebound for the Knights. Throws it ahead down the lane and fumbled out of bounds by Wilson at the other end. Mackey was in the paint to kind of tossle it up with him. And that's Oregon Mountain's third turnover. Boy, the jitters for the home team right now.
Yeah, just trying to do too much and just not able to do it. It's definitely with that pass, too long and too hard.
7-2, Hobbs still by 5 at 4:50 left in the first quarter. Pena will slow it down. He'll come across the time stripe, now guarded by Pacini. Into the front court. He wants to clear out to the right. Now zigzagging back to the left. He backs it out to the timeline. Comes back to the right wing with a bounce pass on the right elbow to Archibek. Pivots, hands it off to Payne in the right corner. Back over to Archibek for a 3. Fadeaway right side off the front of the rim. No good. Pulled down by Bynum for the Knights. He'll bring it across the timeline. Top of the arc as he takes on the defense and throws up a shot over the top of Chisholm off the front of the rim. Long rebound for Mackey. Coming down the left side of the lane. Tries an alley-oop backdoor to Chisholm and overthrows him out of bounds on the baseline right side. It might have been touched by the Knights to give the Eagles back the possession.
It definitely was.
Got to take advantage of those transition games. Don't always have to score on those, can pull them out. They have a 5-point lead right now. It'll be Payne to the inbound on the right baseline as he waits to get it into somebody out there. They're not even giving him the ball yet, though. Now they're going to set it on the floor because he didn't move out to come get it. Throw it in the lane to Mackey at the free throw line. Jab step, pivots with 360. Fadeaway jumper from the free throw line. Bounce around the rim and good. Gets the finger roll off the rim that time. He's got 8 points. One shy of the numbers for the Eagles at 9-2. A strip at the timeline. Taken away by Pena. Goes the rack right side. Bodied up and fouled. And that's going to be one against Oregon Mountain in the air. Yenny Wilson picks up his first. Second team foul. And Pena puts it down. His first bucket. The Eagles on a big roll here, up by 9. 11-2 in the first quarter with 4 minutes remaining.
You know, we haven't seen Hobbs play this hot since they played Cleveland in Cleveland, and now we got a timeout for the Oregon Mountain Knights.
4 minutes remaining first quarter. Hobbs 11, Oregon Mountain 2 coming back in 60 seconds on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Your Hobbs Eagles leading by 9 here in the first quarter, 11-2 over Oregon Mountain, the number 12 seed upsetting number 5. Payne just laid it up after a steal, and a chance for a free throw for a 3-point play. Comes into the game at 65% from the charity stripe as we get back to live action here in Las Cruces. Already in the scoring column for the Eagles, a total of 8 for Mackey, 2 for Pena, 2 for Archibek. Free throw in and out for Pena, no good. And the rebound is pulled down underneath the hoop for Oregon Mountain by Pacini. That's his first rebound of the ball game. He'll dribble across the timeline, a bounce pass to the right wing, front court to Wilson. Cross court left to a new sub that just checked in. That's Coombs. Leans and shoots in the left block, no good. Rebound for Chisholm on the right block, goes it down court, down to Hodge, who lays it on the right glass high with the arching layup that time. Hodge with his first bucket, 13-2. Eagles up by 11 here in the first quarter, their biggest lead of the ball game. At the other end, Karras catches it on the right base. Kicks out left wing to Pacini. His 3 out the back of the rim. Mackey with the long rebound, his first. He's going to go to the rack left side with a dunk on the top of the rim. Tomahawk jam for Michael Mackey. What's going on with these home court Knights? They're having trouble right now. 10 points for Mackey. 15-2 your score. A 13-point lead. And we got a deflection in the backcourt. Ball knocked out of bounds on the far sideline in front of the Oregon Mountain bench. And some subs going to check in for the Knights. And that includes Emmett McDaniel seeing his first action. And also, I believe, just checked in. Let me see that number. It looks like Mike Martinez. They started 3 seniors, and it looks like they're a little wobbly. Bounce pass comes across to the right wing to Martinez. Cross court left, high in the air, after being brought down by Coombs. Leads and shoots, rejected by Chisholm and pulled down for Payne on the rebound. His second. Does it up ahead to Hodge. Back to the timeline. Holding on to it for a second is Pena. He finds a nice post up on the top of the left wing by Archibek. Pivots and hands off to Mackey going right to left. Down the lane left side. Gets pushed in the back. His knee went out on him for a second there, and it looks like a foul on the Knights. As they'll call that against Organ Mountain. That'll already be their 4th team foul at this point. Let's see who they got that one against. For the sub that just checked in, Mike Martinez picks up the foul. They're going to call that a shooting foul. Looked like it was a push in the back, but they're going to give Mackey a benefit of the doubt here. Nope, the referee is now taking it to the baselines. I did think it was going to be a floor foul first, but
right.
He started moving to the line. Looks like they're getting ready to check it to him, but she takes it to the baseline. Bounce pass back door, going high, getting rejected in the air. Off the back of the backboard that time. Just barely checking in was Nick Pena. He got rejected by Karras. They're going to say Karras touched it last as it hit the back of the backboard. Inbound to Archibek to the left elbow, fakes the shot, falls to the floor. Karras strips it away from him. Second turnover, comes down the lane after a pass and gets it back from the right side from Wilson. And they call the foul. Karras ran over his defender that time. And the Organ Mountain fans are lit up here. They're not happy campers. Karras' first personal 15 foul, and that will be the 4th turnover for Organ Mountain. I think they have more turnovers than they've had possession so far, or at least getting close.
Definitely, and definitely more. They haven't even had a field goal yet.
15-2 the score. Hobbs by 13 in the backcourt. Stop and go dribble for Pena as he comes off across the line against Wilson to the right wing. Backs it out, waiting for it is Chisholm. Gets it the ball on the right wing. Backs into his defender. Takes a dribble with his left hand, top of the circle, and hands off for his teammate that time to Vega, but it's stripped away. Vega gets it back at the timeline, though. So turnovers back-to-back for both teams. 5 for Organ Mountain, 3 for the Eagles. Pena at the timeline. Backdoor to Mackey. Double clutch is rejected in the air. Nice block with 2 hands on the ball by Trevon Del Ferraro. And he gets it off to the near sideline to Wilson. Cross court right over to Del Ferraro. Sails it down to the right wing to McDaniel. Takes a few dribbles to the free throw line. Kick left to Wilson. Fires up a 3 off the side of the rim. They can't buy one. Rebound left corner for Wilson. Fadeaway jumper. He nails a tray. He's knocked to the floor and the foul. A chance for a 4-point play after they count the 3-point shot and call the foul on Pena for clearing him out.
And that's unfortunate, but luckily it's only one of the few mistakes that the Hobbs Eagles have made so far in this game.
There will be a timeout on the court. That was a tray, so 15-5 your score. Hobbs by 10. 1:43 going in this first quarter. Coming out quickly and hot and heavy. The Hobbs Eagles back in 30 seconds on the Cool 95.7, HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and Cool 95.7 Facebook page. Welcome back to Las Cruces. Your Hobbs Eagles on a tear here, 15-5 over Organ Mountain, the number 5 seed. Last year, Organ Mountain finished 15-15 on the season, lost in the first round of number 1 Volcano Vista by 33 points. They were the number 16 seed. Last year, the Hobbs Eagles went through 3 rounds as actually they won the Carlsbad against the district tournament championship, beat Farmington by 14, and then lost to Atrisco Heritage by 7 in the quarterfinals. So that was the 2 teams last year. This year, Hobbs at 12 seed and Organ Mountain at number 5. But right now, the Eagles turning the tables on the home team as they lead by 10, pinning a free throw. A guy that just hit a 3-point shot got fouled, Yenny Wilson. As he was the first bucket of the ball game, they had 2 free throws prior to that by Gonzalez.
And we talk about him not wanting him on the line.
Missed off the back of the rim, though. Rebound at the free throw line for Pena. Fires it ahead. Coming down the left side of the lane as Mackey gets double-teamed and drops to the floor. He's knocked down. They're going to call the foul. Karras on top of him, as well as Ray Venegas for Organ Mountain on that left baseline. We'll see which one got the foul. I think Venegas just picked it up.
Yeah,
That's already the 7th foul against Organ Mountain. That will be a bonus situation. Nope, it's 6. They're going to change that to 6 now. Hobbs basketball on the left baseline. Mackey to inbound, gets it in quickly to Archibek left wing. Back to Chisholm, gets bodied up. Back deep to the Eagles, and driving hard to the right side is Pena. To the right corner, fadeaway jumper for the freshman Vega. Got knocked to the floor on the tray. Ball came off the rim, but he was pinned down to the ground that time, and a foul call. Just like at the other end that we saw that Organ Mountain had a 4-point play opportunity seconds ago. So that will be a foul called against the Knights. That'll be charged to Martinez, his second 18th foul, or make it the 17th foul. And on the line will be Vega.
He's been pretty good on the line so far this season.
First shot is off the back of the rim, no good. He will get one more. They've rebounded there.
More.
Oregon Mountain acted like that was a one-on-one situation. Vega came into the contest on the free throw stripe. He's been out a few games, though, 50% on the season. He'll get 2 more here. That was a 3-point shot that he was attempting. Hobbs right now 2 of 4 from the stripe, and he misses the second one off the front and the back of the rim.
Same spot. He missed the first time. He hit the same spot.
He gets one more, though, to try to extend the lead to 11. Biggest lead has been 13 here in the first quarter, 1:27 remaining. Second shot is up, and it's off the back of the rim, no good. And pulled down to the right block for Oregon Mountain by Ray Venegas. That's his first free throw, or first rebound of the ball game. Throws it across the timeline, a jab step by Venegas to the time stripe as he retreats, gives it off right wing to Karras. Back deep, top of the circle. Hedge move by McDaniel, finds a man open left corner, Pacini for 3, and now he's got one. Now we're going to see Oregon Mountain starting to take those off, and they can get him to drop. His first bucket is 15-8 now, 7-point Eagle lead. Slowing it down is Pena now to the timeline as he takes on the defense of Pacini. Crossover move, back deep to Mackey to the left wing, high in the air to Chisholm. Chisholm throws an elbow, and looked like he was the one that caused the punishment that time. I think they called the foul, though, on Oregon Mountain. That's Ray Venegas, might have put his face in too close. And Chisholm just threw that vicious elbow that time. Looked like it connected, too. It was on the far left side of the court as they call that foul against the Knights. That's Ray Venegas' second. And that will be the 18th foul against the Eagles, or against the Knights.
Knights, right.
On the line is Chisholm. He misses hard off the front of the rim. Eagles having some trouble with free throws. Underneath the hoop for Oregon Mountain to pull it down is Venegas, his second rebound. To the near sideline across the time stripe, Bynum.
Oh, bad pass.
Tried to pass to Pacini on the left wing. Ricocheted, picked up left corner by Gonzalez. Dribbles to the free throw line off his leg. Top of the arc, Bynum to recover and sends it left to Pacini. Down low to Karras on the left block, who gets a double team. Kicks it down to the right corner. A spin move for Venegas. Fadeaway jumper from the right block. Hits out the back of the rim. No good. It's loose on the baseline right corner. And it's going to be touched out by Oregon Mountain Hobbs basketball. Big battle going on down there. You're seeing Karras getting double teamed on those blocks down low. That's causing the disruption. He's a leading scorer, close to 14 points a ball game.
Exactly, and Hobbs needs to fight through that. They've been kind of quiet for the last couple of minutes, and Oregon Mountain has been taking advantage of it.
They hit that big trade just seconds ago to make it 15-8. Hobbs still by 7. 18 seconds left here in the first. In the front court is Pena to left wing, zigzags back to the top and gives it over to Hodge. Spin move, drives the paint, jump stop, a little hook shot, going in the lane and count it. Hodge coming off the bench quickly for another bucket. He's got 4 here in the first quarter. 3 seconds left. They got a half-court shot maybe to be attempted, falling to the floor. They call the foul. It was a double team with Chisholm and Hodge on that far right sideline near the time stripe. They tried to heave a three-pointer there, but a trip before it happened. And trying to lunge forward, I believe, was Brian Gonzalez. Let's see who they charged the foul against that time.
I think that was against, what is it, Acosta?
Might have been Hodge, I believe.
No, Pena.
Wait to see. Anyway, they're having a discussion. They're going to say it wasn't a shot attempt. He just got tripped and fell. So the foul against the Eagles, that will be their third. We'll take a break here at the end of 1. It's Hobbs upsetting number 5 seeded Oregon Mountain here in Las Cruces, 17-8. We'll come back in 60 seconds on the Hobbs Eagle Network. We're back live here in Las Cruces. Your Hobbs Eagles leading 17-8 over number 5 seeded Oregon Mountain here in the first round of the state tournament. Ty friend Ron Gunter, Max back at the station. Hobbs already with 10 points produced for Michael Mackey to lead both teams. 4 for Hodge, 2 apiece for Pena and Archibek. And for the Oregon Mountain Knights, they got a couple of guys with trays. Pacini with 3 and Wilson with 3 so far. 2 for Gonzalez and none for their top scorer, averages 13 a game. Karras, 0 in the scorebook. Start the second quarter with the Hobbs Eagles. Top of the circle, backing out is Acosta, who's checked in here in the second. Dribbles left, hands it off to Mackey, fumbles it behind himself, gets a recovery, but stripped out of his hands by Oregon Mountain. Bynum has it. That's the fourth turnover. Goes to the rack and lays it in on the right side. Bynum with the steal and a layup. He's got 2 points, 17-10 your score. Here comes the Eagles to the other end, painted to the left block. Up top to Hodge, a W or make an NBA 3 off the back of the rim, rebound, and shot back up by Pena from the free throw stripe and swishes it through. Pena with 4 points and 4 rebounds so far, 19-10, Eagles by 9. The biggest lead was 13 in the first quarter. One-handed pass to the far sideline to Gonzalez. Bounces down the right corner to Pacini. Return to Gonzalez, double clutches. He comes down the right side of the pike and is fouled going up. All 3 coaches for the Eagles jumping off the bench that time as they call the foul on Hobbs. I think they got Hodge on that one, chopping from behind. That will be his second. And that will be also the 14th foul on the Eagles. 8-4 foul count. Hobbs actually getting a favor on that so far. As Gonzalez will step up, he's perfect, 2 for 2 back in the first quarter, and nails the free throw there to make it 3 for 3. They are 3 of 4 from the line as a team at 75% for the Knights.
Yeah, again, we wanted them to stay off the line. So far, they've been getting a few extra shots.
Missed the free throw off the second one and pulled down for the Eagles, as that will be Pena with the basketball. His 5th rebound comes across the timeline. Comes right, gives it off to Hodge on the near sideline in front of the Oregon Mountain 5,000 cheerleaders they have here tonight. Bounce pass up top to Acosta. Top of the circle against Karras. Comes down the lane, finds Hodge in the right wing. Uses up his dribble though. Bounce pass up to Pena near sideline as well on the right. He drives through 3 defenders. Double clutch on the right glass and scores for the block. Right side. Beautiful job for Pena with ball control in the air. He's got 6 points. Definitely putting an exclamation point on that drive. 21-11, Eagles by 10. In the front court, left wing Pacini. Down to Karras in the left corner. Almost drug that pivot foot. Spins on Acosta, leads and shoots in the left block. Ball comes off the rim. And it actually was Archibek trying to guard him up chest to chest. He spun on him, and they got the foul bite there by the official on the baseline. That will put him on the line to shoot 2. See if they're going to call that against Archibek that time. Yes, it is against him. That'll be his first, 15th foul. As Karras yet to score in the contest. First shot is a hard brick off the back of the rim, so they're not doing themselves any justice out there. Karras came in shooting 65% on the season. The team was at 72, and not helping themselves out with these missed free throws. He'll get one more. Down by 10 to the Eagles. Second shot's up and good for Karras with 1 point now. 21-12, 9-point Eagle lead. Pena will have the basketball after getting it back on the inbound from Hodge. He's going to take on Pacini through the time stripe. Comes right with the one-hander over to Hodge, right wing. Holds the ball. Up top to Archibek with a jab step. Holds the ball for a second. Official's going to call a push foul underneath by the Eagles. It looked like Acosta was battling up that time with Amira Bynum. So Acosta's going to take the foul and leave the court, being subbed out. That's his first, 16th foul. Back in is Chisholm for the Eagles. Archibek remains, Mackey, Pena, and Hodge. 1-2-2 trap for the Eagles, full court. Pass to the near side for the Knights, Pacini. Back deep, who just returned to Wilson. Throws it across the timeline on the bounce to the right wing, driving the lane and passing off. It's Coombs in the left corner. 3 on the way for Pacini, and he nails it over the top of Pena that time. Pacini with some good stroke on that one. He's got 6 points, both trays. It's 21-15. Eagles only by 6 now. Hodge in the front court. Being matched up at the top of the circle. Crossover move. Shot from 3. Left side fadeaway. High off the back of the rim. Ripped down by Karras on the right block. That's his 3rd rebound. Outlet to the near sideline on the left to Coombs. Coombs tries to get it back to the right. Yo-yo pass to Bynum behind his back, out of bounds in front of the scores table. And that'll go out on the right sideline. Back to the Hobbs Eagles. Oregon Mountain now with 6 turnovers here in the first half and 4 for the Eagles. Inbound back deep to Pena. He's just going to hold it on his hip. Waiting to see how the defense is going to set up against him as Pacini will match him up at the time stripe. Comes across with the handoff to Mackey. Pass off to the right wing to Hodge. Hodge kicks it up top. Archibek with a jab step. Waiting for some movement. Karras right on top of him now. Coming back to get it is Pena on the right side of the circle. Gets a screen from Archibek on the left elbow. Backs out of it. Gives it back to Mackey on the near side. Jab step, top of the circle. Going to throw up a 3 on the way. Off the back of the rim. Chased down by Archibek. He gets knocked to the floor. They're going to give it to Oregon Mountain. Archibek was flattened as somebody came over the top of his back that time. That appeared to be Ethan Coombs. No call. And they will give it to Oregon Mountain on the near sideline left. Inbound to the back deep now to Wilson, as he's going to go against a couple of defenders for the Eagles. Throws it across, left wing open is Pacini for 3. Off the back of the rim this time, rebound on the left elbow by Wilson, his second. and sends it back to the near side left to Pacini. Back to the timeline with the pass to Coons. Coons will send it right, driving the lane, high arching shot from the right baseline. Bynum gets it to drop over the rim for 2. Bynum now with 4 points, all coming.
Hobbs just not playing as strong as they did in the first half. Of course, it also could be, or first quarter, also could be that the Knights have found their traction and they're slowly getting back into this game. We saw this again when they played Cleveland. It was the same situation. They did a first good half, a first good quarter. The second quarter, they kind of fell apart a little bit.
Hodge misses the first one off the front of the rim. Eagles starting to have some issues on the free throw stripe. He came in shooting 30% on the season. As Hodge misses that one, that was his first attempt of the ball game. Mackey's 2 for 2, Vega 0 for 2, Pena 0 for 2, and now Hodge 0 for 1. So Hobbs needs to start making some of these free throws to add on to that lead. Second shot's up and good for Hodge. He's got 5 points. 22-17, Eagles by 5. Clock down to 4:28 left, second quarter. Pass to the near side to Wilson. Stop and go. One-hand bouncer down the right block. A head fake, a shot is blocked in the air. Venegas got rejected by the big man for the Eagles who just checked in, Parker Henderson. And they call the foul as he came up with the rebound. He got bodied into. That'll be some bonus work here for Henderson. Doesn't even know he's shooting free throws as the referee at the other end had to tell him, you're on the line. They get the foul call on Oregon Mountain. That's Julian Gonzalez picking up his first. That's the 10th team foul. That's going to give him 2 bonus free throws.
Yeah, Henderson it's great to see him on the line, but unfortunately he is not a very good free throw shooter. Hopefully he's been working on that recently, and he'll make both of these.
He doesn't have any free throws as a varsity player. Misses off the left of the rim. He started to run back on defense and forgot that it was a double bonus, but he'll get one more opportunity here. Of course, Henderson playing most of the season as a JV player, has seen some time in varsity and spot plays throughout the season, especially later on. But definitely making a presence early in this game. 4:17 left, second quarter. Second shot is up, a high one and swish for him. He went 1 of 2 on the line, has 1 point. It's a 23-17 ball game. Hobbs by 6. Ball in the hands down the near sideline, brought across by Wilson. Throws it left wing to McDaniel. To the left corner, 3 is swatted. Gonzalez tried to shoot it, and getting a push on it was Vega, but he also bodied into the rebounder that time, gets a foul. So Vega's going to get charged with this one. Crashing the glass pretty hard that time. First on Vega, 17th foul, which will put Oregon Mountain on the line to try to chip away at the 6-point deficit right now against the Eagles. So they will get a 1-on-1 bonus here. Shot is up and good on the swish, put through by McDaniel, his first point of the ball game. McDaniel coming into the contest from the charity stripe this season, as he's shooting 86%, one of the best on the team for the Knights. 23-18, second shot is swish as well, got both of them. They are now 5 of 7 from the line so far, only missed 2. 23-19, Payne with the basketball. As he gets some different defender this time, Wilson comes across the timeline, crossover left side, wants to clear out. Henderson trying to put a screen out there for him on the left wing, drives to the corner, 18-footer on the way, it's swish. Pena is on fire in this ball game. That's his 6th point of the second quarter, 8 overall. Eagles back up by 6, 3:43 left in the half. Karras gets a pass deep right corner, goes to the rack with 2 hands, it goes up strong on Henderson and puts it down for 2. Karras now with 3 points all in the second. 25-21 and almost a steal. Getting a piece of the inbound on the right baseline that time for Oregon Mountain was Yenny Wilson, and lost his footing and stepped on the line as he grabbed the ball. Hobbs will still get it in their backcourt. They're facing a 1-2-2 trap right now. Vega will get it into the lane to Pena, and reach it on him that time was Wilson, no foul call. Pena going to go one-on-one against Wilson through the time stripe with 3:25 left first half, up by 4. Stop and go, wants to clear out left, gets a screen from Henderson on the left wing, stop and go to the free throw line. Gives it over to the right side to Chisholm, handoff and lost the ball, tried to get it to Vega, turns it, tries to throw up with 3, gets hit from behind, and they call the foul. Amira Bynum, I don't know why he's trying to block a shot from behind, but ripped the arm down that time. Yep. The Knight fans are booing, but that's an easy call to make.
Exactly, that was definitely easy. Even I could see that was a foul call, and it was a 3-pointer, so 3 attempts for Chisholm to see if he can get to extend his lead.
He missed the first free throw back in the first quarter. He gets a 3 here, as you mentioned. First one is up
and in.
And in. He'll get 2 more as Chisholm now has his first point of the ball game.
we were mentioning the fact that, if Chisholm has a good game, then Hobbs has a good chance of winning.
He's shooting 42% this season. Kind of a forced three-pointer there. I don't know if he felt the defender on his back or not, but he did make it work for him as he gets 2 free throws so far and gets 1 more here to put 3 in the books.
Well, when he set his feet, he was all alone, and when he took that shot, he didn't see the guy coming up behind him.
Missed the free throw. Karras rebounds his 4th, sends it to the timeline in the hands of Wilson. Across to the left wing, driving the lane, McDaniel. Tried to pass it back door to the right. Was trying to complete it to Venegas, but overthrows him to the baseline, out of bounds. Oregon Mountain now with 7 turnovers here in the first half. Eagles by 6. 3:03 left in the second. Inbound to Mackey, far side left in front of the Hobbs bench. Double team, beats both of them through the timeline. Gets it back door to Henderson, tries to go up and dunk, misses, but put back over the front of the rim by Chisholm for the rebound on the points. He's got 4 rebounds and 4 points on the board. 29-21 Hobbs. Into the front court, bounce pass, right corner to McDaniel. Drives baseline underneath the hoop on the left side now. Kicks it up top to Wilson, fires up a 3. Bounces around the rim, no good. Rebound by Hodge on the left block, his 2nd rebound. He's going to go one-on-one against McDaniel. Beats 2 defenders. Slices through them. Down the lane, tries a scoop shot. Is knocked down from behind. And Karras, their top scorer on the season, now has 3 fouls as he botted into him. No way should he be trying to block a shot there, as he was not the primary defender coming out to help. The second time he's been called over and called a foul. That's his 3rd, and that'll be the 12th team foul against the Knights. And Karras with only 3 points in this ball game, coming in averaging close to 13 a contest. Unfortunately, a miss by Hodge on the charity stripe. He's now 1 of 3 from the line, has 5 points, trying to extend the lead from 8. 29-21, Hobbs up with 2:29 remaining in the second.
Got a final from West Mesa. It is going to be West Mesa as they beat Santa Fe 56-41.
Second shot good for Hodge. He's got 6 points. Eagles by 9. Of course, West Mesa, one of the teams Eagles have played at the APS tournament. Coming across with a pass to Bynum on the right wing. He'll go to the rack. High shot over the rim, left side. Mackey in transition off the rebound, his 2nd. Down the lane, hippity hop, goes lefty, reverse layup, and scores off the glass. Mackey down with 12 points. Boy, the Knights fans cannot believe what's happened to them here on their home court. 32-21, 11-point deficit against the Eagles.
This is why they play the game.
Pacini on the right wing, kicks it over to the right side again to Venegas. Back deep and holding on to it on the cradle is Pacini. He'll fire up an NBA 3 right side and swishes it. Pacini, all 3 of his shots have been trays. He's got 9 points. 32-24. Hobbs up by 8 with 1:45 left in the half. Hot to the front court, comes around the right circle off the dribble. Gets a screen from Chisholm. His pass is deflected and ripped out of the air by Wilson for the 5th turnover. Sends it ahead to Karras. He misses a dunk over the front of the rim. Hodge gets a rebound. Embarrassing miss. Down to Mackey in the lane. Reverse layup right side is knocked to the floor as he gets sandwiched between 2 defenders. Karras didn't get his timing down on the hop up to the hole that time and paid the price. At the other end, Mackey is sandwiched between Coombs and Wilson, and he'll pick up the foul. Gets 2 bonus free throws here. You can see they call that against. It looks like they charged that one to Coombs, his 1st, 13th team foul. And Mackey on the line, he's perfect, 2 for 2.
And that might have been just a great representation of what's been going on for the Knights. Just not able to make some of their shots, especially that looked like it was an easy one. He was all alone.
Mackey makes his 1st free throw now with 13 points. 10 of those were in the first quarter. He's 3 for 3 from the line. Eagles have shot 14 free throws so far and have made 7. They're 50% and have a 9-point lead. Lead is as big as 13 in the first quarter. Mackey's 2nd free throw, trying to make it 14 on the night and puts it through. A little bouncer around the rim. He's got 14. 10-point Eagle lead, 1:25 left second quarter. Ball comes across the timeline to Bynum. Cross court left, over to Del Ferraro, who just checked in. Sends it to Pacini, left wing, drives the lane, tries to throw up a shot, a hook coming in the left to right lane. And as he exits the lane on the right side, he gets pushed. They count the basket, and 3 coaches up for the Hobbs Eagles wanting a discussion on that one. They will count the basket. See, they call the foul on that time. That will be for the Eagles, their 8th. And that's the first non-tray for Pacini.
And that was a nice shot from Pacini. He was going from left to right. He adjusted with his body as it went, and he made the shot, and he drew the foul.
That's the 2nd on Archibald. Misses off the back of the rim on the free throw, though. Ball's loose, and Mackey comes down with it, left of the lane. He's got 3 boards. Weaves through traffic with 1:13. Down the lane, lefty layup, and scores. He's going to be a lit fuse the rest of this ball game. 16 now for Mackey to lead both teams in a 10-point Eagle lead. Boy, they're just got everything going full cylinder in this game. Coming across the timeline is Coombs. Sends it over to the right wing to Pacini, who's hit 3 trays. Lost the ball. Mackey slapped that out of his hands. Recovers and returns to the timeline to Coombs. Driving to the right wing. Back to Pacini. Fakes it 3. Hippity hop. Fade away from the free throw line. A one-hand shot putter and puts it through. Then yells at the Hobbs Eagle bench. I don't think he wants to start doing that stuff. He's got 13, though, to lead the Knights. 36-28 at the other end. Backdoor pass to Archibek, who lays it in with his left hand. Archibek has 4 points. 38-28. Eagles by 10. In the backcourt, we got a track meet going on. Pacini sends it off to the left wing to Coombs. And we got a hold foul as he tried to get around Peyton Hodge and Chisholm that time. They call that on Chisholm to reach out and grab him. That'll be his second personal, 19th foul. Be a 1-on-1 bonus now for the Knights, who trail by 10.
And as I thought as we were driving up here, Hobbs has nothing to lose on this one. They have everything to gain. They can just play loose, play free, and they're doing that so far, and they're definitely playing well against the Knights.
First free throw is up and good as it's switched through by Coombs. That's his first point of the ball game, too. He's going to try to add on to it here. Coombs came in shooting 78%, one of the tops on the team for the Knights. He gets one more here. Second shot, a hard one off the back of the rim. Pulled down in the paint by Hodge for the Eagles, his 4th. Drives the lane at the right, gets double teamed, throws up a shot, a semi-hook, no good. Ball loose and pulled down on the right wing by Bynum, his 2nd. Throws it ahead to a breaking Knight down the lane, missed the finger roll at the top of the rim, Gonzalez. Ball's loose underneath. It looked like Archibek came down with it originally, and then he gets banged into. Ball comes rolling out on the near sideline. That will be a foul. Let's see who they're going to call that, who they said had possession of it to get the foul call and march the other end for free throws. It will be Archibek. So Archibek will get a chance for 2 on the double bonus. And the foul against the Knights, that will be their 14th of the ball game. They called the foul there, I believe, on Mike Martinez. That's his 3rd. So Archibek on the line to shoot his first free throw of the game, a double bonus situation. Shots off the back of the rim, no good. He'll get one more. Archibek with 4 points as he came into the contest from the charity stripe at 45%.
And I think more importantly, you were talking about, it sounds like a couple of Knights are in foul trouble, and this could cause for a major problem as far as coaching for the Oregon Mountain Knights on who they're going to play in the second quarter or second half.
Coach Gonzalez does go back to his bench and bring in Yenny Wilson. As we go back to Archibek on the line, 4 points for him. Second free throw switch, make it 5. 39-29, back to that 10-point lead with 9.2 left in the half. Ball in the hands of Bynum as he comes across, stop and go. Shot from the right wing on the way, off the front of the rim, no good. Tipped up on the left block, fade away off the front of the iron, no good. Vega pulls it down for the rebound, gets it off to Mackey at the time stripe, but does not get the shot off on time after Vega's first rebound. Hobbs Eagles, an upset in the making here in Las Cruces, lead Oregon Mountain 39-29 by 10 at the half. We'll take a 3-minute break, come back with the Hobbs Eagle halftime show on Cool 95.7, HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and on the Cool 95.7 Facebook page. Back live here in Las Cruces. Hobbs Eagle playoff basketball, first round of the state tournament. Ty Friend, Ron Gunner, and Max back at the station. Your Eagles lead by 10, 39-29. Surprising start, too. Eagles is blistering Oregon Mountain in that first quarter, 17-8. Second quarter, Eagles outscoring 22-21 over the night. So definitely really putting a big surprise on the home fans here in Las Cruces. Number 12 seed, almost ready to knock off a number 5, but we got 2 quarters of basketball left, Ron.
Exactly. We've seen this story before where Hobbs has had a good lead in the second, maybe even the third quarter, and kind of fumbled it away. I believe, though, this is going to be different because they are coming out with a different energy, a better energy than I've seen in the past. And you know, one of the things I like they're doing is they're driving the lanes, they're making points, and if they're not, they're drawing the fouls. The only problem is they're not taking advantage of those free throws. They're not getting those sunk, but however, they're still getting them in, and they're getting those nights in foul trouble.
I think one of the key stats we talked about on the pregame show was rebounding. And we saw a major advantage for the Oregon squad in terms of rebounding the first 2 games, these 2 teams, because of some missed shots from the outside as well. Oregon Mountain's missed a lot of trays, and they've been tanking off quite a few of them, although they still made 4 in the first half and started making them later in that second quarter. But the Eagles doing a good job of getting high off the ground on these defensive rebounds, and that's getting their transition game, especially if Mackey gets a rebound. It's going to be a quick transition up the court. Whether he takes it in the hole or not, it doesn't matter. That causes that defense to have to get back and hoof it, and that gets them a little bit tired. I don't think Karras is 100%. It looks like he's kind of hoofing a little bit.
Yeah, exactly, and it's always good to see Mackey with the ball. You know, at this point, you never know if he's going to drive the lane or is he going to pass it off and see if he can get a three-point shot going on. Of course, you were talking about the fact that we have not had a three-point shot made in this game so far.
I haven't needed it at this point, leading by 10, 39-29. Let's look at the numbers in the first half. Right now, it's Aiden Pacini who's been the driving force in terms of point production. He's got a total of 3 trays out of the 4 that the Knights have made, 13 points so far, and 1 rebound. Nobody else in double digits. In fact, they're going way down in the scoring. Myron Bynum is a couple of shots for 4 points. Brian Gonzalez is 3 of 4 from the line. He's got 3 points. And Brandon Karras, who's usually their top scorer, averaging close to 13 a game, only 3 points and 3 fouls in the first half. He's 1 of 2 from the line and has 4 rebounds. So he's definitely having some problems up to this point in time. Ethan Coombs came out the bench, 1 of 2 from the line for 1. And Yenny Wilson hit another tray, the 4th for the Oregon Mountain squad. He's got 3 points in the first half. So far, 7 scorers for Oregon Mountain. They are 6 of 12 from the charity stripe for 50%, the same percentage of the Hobbs Eagles. And we mentioned they hit 4 3-pointers in the first half, have a total of 7 turnovers, and a majority of those, I think it was 5 that was in the first quarter alone. So having some trouble getting their offense going early on. Of course, against the Eagles that were just bulleting out of the gun, they were just coming up the court hard. I think there was some huffing and puffing going on for Oregon Mountain in that first half.
Definitely.
Michael Mackey leads the Eagles with 16 points, perfect on the line, 4 for 4, 10 of his 16 in the first quarter alone. Definitely a spark plug in the game and has 3 rebounds. Right behind is Abraham Pena with 8. He hit 3 consecutive baskets in the second quarter for 6 points, and that 8 overall. He has got 5 rebounds in the first half, definitely helping out in 2 different categories, scoring and boards. Peyton Hodge, who got a start tonight, he's got 6 points. He is 2 for 4 from the line and 4 rebounds, plus a steal that turned into a layup for the Eagles and got him a couple of free throw opportunities in that first half. Chris Archibald, he's got 5 points, including 1 of 2 free throw shooting at this point. Jordan Chisholm with 4 points and 4 rebounds. He's been in the line several times and is 2 for 4 from the charity stripe for 50%. I believe that's it for the Hobbs scoring in the first half. That's a total of 5 people in the book so far. Actually, Parker Henderson came off the bench. The big JV center is 1 of 2 from the line. Hobbs got a total of no 3-pointers in the first half, 4 for Oregon Mountain, but they didn't need them, leading by 10 at this point. Eagles were also 50% from the line, 10 of 20. Had only 4 turnovers compared to 7 for Oregon Mountain. And again, led the rebounding 18-11 as well as his top rebounders, Hodge and Chisholm. Or actually, it was Payton with 5, Hodge and Chisholm both getting 4, and 3 for Michael Mackey. We're going to take a 2-minute break, get ready for second half action. You're listening to Hobbs Eagle Playoff Basketball on the Hobbs Eagle Network.
Welcome back to Oregon Mountain. This is the Castle, and we are halftime just about to end as the Hobbs Eagles leading the Knights 39-29, and it has been a very good game so far for the Hobbs Eagles, outscoring the Knights 22-21 in the third quarter.
As we get ready for third quarter action, Oregon Mountain with the basketball. A 10-point Eagle lead. Throw it in the backcourt to get it started to Wilson. Goes to the top of the circle, gets a screen from Karras, fires up an NBA three off the front of the rim, no good. Mackey with good position, but Pena comes down with the rebound for the Eagles. That is his 6th of the ball game. He'll bring it across the timeline, gets a hand right in his chest by Bynum. Dribbles right, stop and go to the scores table, far right side. As Coach Ross out there trying to get him to direct down to the corner. Tries to bounce a wraparound down the right block. It's taken away right in the passing lane by Gonzalez. That's the 5th turnover for the Eagles. Gets it to the time stripe as Wilson will bring it across against Mackey. Keeps the dribble alive at the time stripe. Comes around the left wing. Bounce it low to Karras, left block. Runs over his defender. Knocked to the floor. They call the block foul. Karras has put his shoulder down and rammed into the Archibald, who's coming up limping now. Looks like he got his knee rammed right into the hardwood. And boy, Karras got a major break on that play. Looked like he just took him completely out.
Kind of looks like he's just going to walk it off.
So Archibald picks up his 3rd personal, 1st team foul here in the second half. A shot on the way from the right side at the front of the rim, no good. Loose in the paint and rolls out on the right baseline. It will be Oregon Mountain basketball, and Archibald's going to have to come out of the ball game. And getting his first action tonight is Jairus Turbiatis. And still limping is Archibald. It might be his left knee, it looks like. He has a band around the bottom of that left knee, but he got knocked down hard by Karras.
Yeah, it's definitely his left knee.
Throw a high one into Karras. It's loose, and Mackey will take it away at the timeline. He dribbles into the front court after the 8th turnover and goes to the rack. Little finger roll over the left rim through 3 defenders that time. 18 for Michael Mackey. Unbelievable in this ball game.
He lost the handle, gained it, and got the 2 points.
It's now 41-29, a 12-point Eagle lead. Into the front court, driving the right side of the lane, throwing a shot on the run off the back of the rim is Bynum. And they're going to call the foul underneath. They're pointing the other way. They're going to say a push-off as Gonzalez tried to go up back door on the left side to tip it. They're going to say he went over the back.
So the shot does not count.
I want to make sure that's who they got it against.
23.
They're saying 23 on the scoreboard, but there is no 23 for Oregon Mountain. I think that was against Gonzalez, his 2nd, 1st team foul. 41-29, Eagles by 12. In the front court, Pena, stop and go. Continues to move against Bynum, top of the circle. They're going to call a carry. It looked like he got a little bit too tricky on the dribble as he's kind of popping back and forth in front of the defender and then behind him. And they say that he moved that ball with that flip of the flapjack there for the turnover. For the Eagles, that will be their 6th of the ball game. Inbound back deep to Wilson. He'll take on Hobbs at the time stripe with 6:30 remaining third quarter. Hobbs by 12. Dribbling through his legs, spinning on the near sideline. Unloads to the right wing. An NBA three for Bacchini. Hits the side of the rim, and he got another rebounding foul underneath. This time Karras, who's arguing loudly with the official, and runs over to her and gets in her face. That will be a foul on Karras. They changed the foul numbers at halftime. That's his 2nd. He'll leave the game as Coach Gonzalez doesn't want him arguing with the official. He sits down with only 3 points. We mentioned his top scorer on this ball club for Oregon Mountain came in at 13.6 a contest. The Eagles have him restrained completely in this ball game. Mackey will bring it across the timeline. 41-29 on the left wing. Pass up top to Turbiatis. Holds it for a minute, hands it off to Pena on the right side. Up top to Chisholm, fakes a 3 with the jab step. Defender comes out on him, Gonzalez, and hands it off to Hobbs, who's back to the time stripe. Lefty dribble down the lane to Chisholm left corner. 18-footer fade away out the front of the rim, no good. Ripped down in the middle of the paint for Oregon Mountain by Gonzalez. He passes off to the near side to Bynum. Crossover, kicks it left wing to Gonzalez. Holds it for a second. Dumps it in the paint. Jumping high in the air for Gonzalez. Goes up, double clutches, knocked to the floor. Looked like Turbiatis trying to swat his shot from behind. Didn't contest the pass into the paint. But he's going to pick up the foul regardless. And that will be Gonzalez. He'll get the 2 free throws as Turbiatis will pick up the foul. That's his 1st and the 2nd team foul against the Eagles. That'll put on the line Gonzalez, who is 3 for 4 for 75% and nails the free throw. Both teams 50% at the break. As Oregon Mountain is now 7 of 13 from the charity stripe with a made free throw by Gonzalez. He's got 4 points. Second shot good as well. 5 now for Gonzalez. And it looks like a sub going to come in for the Knights. That will be Trevin Del Ferraro. Hobbs basketball in their backcourt, inbound to Pena. Coming back to help on the D is Amarin Bynum. Crossover for Pena, the right side in the front court, in front of the Hobbs Eagle bench. To the right wing, gets a screen from Turbiatis, puts it up top to Chisholm, comes left and the handoff to Hicks, or make that Hodge. Up top to Turbiatis, jab step, lost the ball. He's going to try to pass it. Saw there was a defender on top of Mackey on the right wing, and then stumbled forward, and that'll be a turnover for the Eagles, their 7th of the ball game. And keeping those numbers pretty low here for the Eagles. In fact, in the 2 games previous, the Eagles had a lot less turnovers compared to Organ Mountain, 36-21. Going to the rack at the other end with the scoop shot. There's a foul call. Ball comes short of the rim. That was Yenny Wilson. They're called the chop foul on the Eagles, as Hodge will get the foul. For Hodge, that will be his 3rd and the 3rd team foul on the Eagles. They don't call that a shooting foul. Inbound up top to Bynum. Bynum will send it down the right corner. 3 on the way coming for Gonzalez, and he nails the tray. Or correction, that was Del Ferraro who just came off the bench. That's the 5th tray of the game for Organ Mountain. A pass down to the other end. Turbiatis lays it in the right glass underneath 2 defenders that time. Quick reaction by the Eagles. That's his first bucket, Turbiatis.
Nice answer to that 3.
9-point ball game. Bounce pass to the timeline to bring it across is Gonzalez. Sends it left wing. Driving the lane is Piccini. A hook shot is rejected in the air by Pena. Gets his own rebound, though, and goes back up as Piccini for the score. He's got 15 points and 2 rebounds. Mackey in the front court now with the spin move at the timeline. Gives it off to Hodge behind him. He'll back it out to that stripe once again. 4:35 remaining 3rd quarter. Eagles by 7. Dribbles to the right wing. Continues to the baseline. Hook shot on the way and puts it through from 10 feet out. On the right base for Hodge. Hodge now with 8 points. 45-36, a 9-point Eagle lead. In the front court, top of the circle is Piccini. Gives it down the lane. Double clutch windmill there for Wilson, no good, but put back up and in on the right block for Gonzalez. His first bucket and 2 rebounds now for him. 45-38 to the other end. Mackey gets hammered from behind as he tried to do a 1-2 up through 2 defenders. And boy, Organ Mountain continues to argue with the officials after every call now, as they charge that one to Yenny Wilson. That's his second team foul, but we know that Mackey likes to use that head to try to kind of lure the official. He definitely was fouled that time.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
But he got their attention with that head jerk.
Exactly, and that's exactly what you need to do. I mean, sometimes the refs do need a little help as far as the calls.
Hobbs will get the basketball. That wasn't a shooting foul, they're saying. It'll be Hodge inbound on the right base. Gets it in right corner. It bounces off the chest of Pena. Lost it out of bounds, but they're going to also say Organ Mountain got a piece of it. They're going to say it was touched by Aiden Piccini as well. They'll return it back to the Eagles on that right base.
Yeah, Piccini punched it out.
Braylon Vega will check in now for Mackey to get a breather with 4:05 remaining 3rd. Hobbs up by 7. Gets it in right corner to Turbiatis, to the same side to Chisholm. Official blows their whistle and stops action. They're going to call a push foul on the Eagles. And that will go the other direction, as that will be for the Eagles their 4th team foul. Also a turnover as well for number 8 of the ball game. And they charge that one to Hodge. That's his 4th, so he's in desperate foul trouble now. The bounce pass on the far left sideline to Wilson. Wilson sends it down to the left wing. Shot from 18 on the way and swish. Nobody got on him, and putting it through the hole that time was Ray Venegas for his first bucket. A 5-point lead for the Eagles. Payne in the front court, getting a screen from Chisholm. Drives through the right corner with 3:40. Up top to Turbiatis, and the Hobbs Eagles want a timeout. Hobbs still leading by 5, 45-40 at halftime. They were up by 10, 39-29, but this game is going to be a tight one to the end, you can tell. We will take a 60-second break. Your Eagles by 5. Come back with us on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Your Hobbs Eagles lead 45-40 here in the 3rd quarter after the timeout. 3:38 remaining in the 3rd. Eagles out rebounding Organ Mountain 19-14. In the front court, top of the arc, Pena, bounce pass to Acosta on the left elbow, fakes the handoff to Pena, backs it out to the top of the arc, hands off to Mackey, comes down the left side of the lane, turns and double clutch, and a body foul. Looks like Karras was also getting together with his teammate Pacini on that left block. They call the foul. Looks like Pacini's going to get it. That's his third. Again, Mackey just kind of throwing his body forward towards the hole that time. That'll be the third team foul against the Knights. Mackey on the line is perfect tonight. He is 4 for 4 from the charity stripe and leads both teams with 18 points.
Something we like to see. Mackey on the line.
First shot is up and good. He's got 19 now and 6 of 6 from the line. Other scoring so far here in this third quarter total, 8 points for Pena, 8 for Hodge. Tied for second in that scoring column. All three coaches up on the sideline for the Eagles, trying to get this team a victory here in the first round of the playoffs to go to the quarters coming up next week.
MVP shoots one more.
Mackey shot hard off the back of the rim, no good, and pulled down to the free throw line there for Oregon Mountain. On the rebound was Del DeFaro. Throws it to the time stripe to Wilson, gets it across left wing, man open for three, off the back of the rim, no good for Pacini. Ball loose in the right corner, and we got to travel. I don't know who had possession of it. Vega went to the floor, but they're going to say he moved his feet a little bit and gets the travel call. That will be the night turnover for the Eagles, although Vega did pull it down for his second rebound. Deep right corner of the baseline as the inbound comes to the right corner to Wilson. Drives the right side of the lane, goes back door to Karras, the ball loose. Karras diving on the floor at the free throw line. Eagles are going to jump on it too. They're going to call the timeout though. Boy, good move by Coach Gonzalez. He saw that was going to be a jump ball as Hobbs converging on Karras, who flopped on the ground and was wobbling around there. Almost had a travel, but the coach gets the timeout first. 30-second break. We're going to keep it right here. Ron, you got our sponsors for Hobbs Eagle Hoops as we move into the playoffs there. The first round on HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, the Hobbs Sports page, Cool 95.7 on the Cool 95.7 Facebook page.
Sure do, and they are the following: IPS, XL Energy, Lasco Construction, Renter Center, Outlaw Grill, DNC Electric, RMS Foods, Hobbs Rental, Thriftway, and La Tienta, along with Lobo Trucking, Eunice Pump and Supply, Albertson Market, NMR Pipeline, Coffee House, R360, SunGuard Precision, Hydrotech Services, along with Divine Energy.
You mentioned earlier that I think you had a score on the West Mesa Santa Fe game. Of course, that's the other game going on today that the winner will play the Hobbs Eagles, West Mesa and Santa Fe. We'll try to get you a score update on that here in moments from now. After the break, Oregon Mountain basketball, top of the arc is Pacini, sends it to the right wing to Wilson. Down in the left corner, a three on the way, and a Swiss put through, deep left corner by Del DeFaro. 2 trays for him here in the third quarter, and a total of 7 now for Oregon Mountain, who now trail the Eagles only by 3. Pena will come across the timeline, hand off to Mackey, slings it over to the left side to Vega, back to Mackey on the right wing, drives to the right corner, 18-footer, in and out of the rim, no good, left block rebound for Oregon Mountain by Pacini. Pacini in the front court, drives the left lane, gets stripped as he tries to go up with it. Ball gets knocked out. It's a good defense from behind by Vega to punch it out before he tried to go to the hole with it. And it will be the ball to Oregon Mountain on that left baseline. Underneath their hoop, trailing the Eagles by 3. Get it into the left wing. Pacini fakes a tray, but stepping out on him is Acosta. Backs out again, fakes a tray again, and back deep with a pass to Wilson at the timeline. To the right wing, it's Del DeFaro. Dumps it low to Karras. Missed the shot on the right block. Ball loose at the free throw line. Mackey jumps on top of it. He's getting strung around the floor. 3 of the Oregon Mountain players just kind of swapping on top of him. Mackey getting his 4th rebound. I think they call the jump ball. It's going to be an arrow for the Eagles if it is. Yes, it is a jump ball, Hobbs basketball, but boy, Karras just doesn't have the touch tonight. I'm not sure what's going on with him. Just 3 points. That was all back in the first half. Yet to score here in the third quarter. And now it's going to be another timeout for Coach Gonzalez and the Oregon Mountain Knights. The number 12 team is upsetting number 5 here in Las Cruces. The Eagles over the Knights 46-43 late in the third. We're back in 30 seconds here on Cool 95.7, HobbsAmerica.com, and YouTube, and the Cool 95.7 Facebook page. 46-43, your Hobbs Eagles holding on to a 3-point lead, up by 10 at the half. It's going to be a tight one to the end. 2:07 left, third quarter. Mackey with the basketball. Sends it across to Pena, far right side in front of the scorer's table. Pivots against a double team pressure, tries to bounce it over to right wing to Mackey, and knocked out in the passing lane by Aiden Pacini. And that time Pena had to stretch his body out a little bit too much and could not get the velocity he wanted on that pass. One of the officials is pointing at Coach Gonzalez. Are they giving him a warning on possibility? I'm not sure why she did that, but she went and talked to the scorer's table for a second. Mackey gets the inbound on the right wing, backs into his defender at the free throw line, slings it left to Acosta, down in the left corner to Vega, but I think a Oregon Mountain player got a piece of it. Yes, they did, and that was off the hands, I believe, of Yenny Wilson. Officials helping each other out on that one, which was a good deal for the Eagles. Inbounding will be Vega on the left base. Gets it in left corner to Chisholm. Back to Acosta left side as well, perimeter. Down to the corner to Vega. And back deep to reset to Pena with 1:43 left, third quarter. Hobbs by 3. Stop and go dribble. Gets a double screen. Throws up a three-pointer from the left side off the rim. No good. Rebound in the lane. Pena with reverse layup right, and a foul call from behind. The official on the left wing saw him going down the paint as Pena has just picked up another rebound. That's his 7th of the ball game. And the fans are booing that one. They don't like the call.
Well, it's going against the Knights. Why would they like it?
They put 23 up on the scoreboard. That can't be who it is. There's no 23 on the roster here. As Pena now will get the free throw. That will be Oregon Mountain's 4th foul of the second half. And he misses the first free throw off the front of the rim. But Pena will get one more. Pena has yet to make a free throw tonight. 0 for 3 from the charity stripe, but he does have 8 points. Trying to get his first point here in the third quarter, though. 5-4 foul count. That's 5 for Oregon Mountain and 4 for the Eagles. Second shot is up and good. A switch for Pena. Pena now with 9 points, and the Eagles up by 4. 1:30 left, third quarter. Inbound to the far side to Wilson. Dribbles up and picked up by Pena. Near the sideline, a screen to the time stripe by Venegas. He'll drive to the right wing, bounce pass one-hander to the corner for 3 on the way. In and out, no good for Pacini. And we got a battle for the boards. Pena comes down with it on the left block, and he gets pushed in the back. They call the foul against the Knights. That'll be charged to Julian Gonzalez, his second, 16th foul. And Pena now with his 8th rebound in this ball game.
One away from bonus for the Eagles.
47-43, 1:15 left, third. Pena's going to meet a 2-1-2 half-court trap now as he comes to the timeline. Bounce pass to Mackey. He runs over his defender. They're going to call the walk first. So either way, it was going to go back to Oregon Mountain. He took a few shuffle steps and ran right into his defender. He did a good job of putting his body on that sideline. I believe that was Julian Gonzalez. So Mackey gets the travel, which is a turnover for Hobbs. They're 10th. Into the front court comes Wilson on the dribble. Picked up by Chisholm, top of the arc with 1 minute left in the third. Drives the lane, dumps it left corner. Another 3 coming for Oregon Mountain, and nailing a tray again is Del DeFaro. He's got 3 trays in the third and 9 points. Mackey gets ripped hard as he comes across the timeline on the far right sideline. Picked up a double team. 2 guys ripping at him that time, Del DeFaro and Gonzalez. They get Gonzalez with his 3rd personal and the 17th foul. That will be a bonus for the Hobbs Eagles as Michael Mackey will step up once again. Some cat calls coming from the Knight faithful here. They didn't like the call on that one.
Yeah, they wanted a charge, but that wasn't going to happen.
Mackey is 5 of 6 from the charity stripe so far. Only missed 1. Has to get these to extend the lead. He's got a 47-46 lead right now with 48 left in the third. Loud crowd here in Las Cruces. First shot for Mackey is a swish. He'll quiet him down just a bit. 20 points now for him. Remember, he came into the game averaging 22.8, tops in the 5A in New Mexico. An MVP from the district as well, and probably on the state team. He's definitely got to be on the all-state team with the top numbers in the state.
Absolutely.
One more free throw to try to make it a 3-point lead. Up and good. Swish again for Mackey. As right now he's got a total of 5 in this third quarter and 21 overall. 49-46 Eagles with 40 seconds left in the third. Coming across the timeline, a jump stop for Wilson. Has the man open in the right corner, but bobbles the pass was Venegas. Throws it right, block shot on the way, no good for Gonzalez. Pulled around, and Gonzalez and Mackey are battling for the rebound. Looks like we have a jump ball. Mackey gets flopped to the floor there, but no foul call on that one, and it'll be a jump going to Oregon Mountain. They'll have it on the left baseline, underneath their hoop, down by 3 with 32 seconds remaining. Boy, they've been taking a lot of trays off here in this third quarter, and it's gotten it closer and closer.
And Hobbs has not had any threes.
Inbound to the left wing, facing the basket is DeFaro, comes down the lane, kicks it right side 3 for Gonzalez, it's good. Gonzalez with his first tray of the ball game at 5 points. We are tied at 49. Just like the start of the ball game, the crowd is loud here in Las Cruces. 18 seconds left in the third. Pena will come across on the right wing on the dribble. Screen from Acosta. Backs it out to the Hobbs Eagle bench on the right side. Uses up his dribble. Back deep to Chisholm at the time stripe. Over the left wing to Vega. Fakes the tray. Back up top to Acosta. Dribbles right hands to Mackey. Triple team on him. To Vega, left corner, the freshman for three off the buzzer. And misses the front of the rim. No good. At the end of three, we got ourselves a different ball game. We are tied 49-49. Number 5 versus number 12 here in Las Cruces comes back in 60 seconds. Back live here in Las Cruces, playoff basketball live on Cool 95.7, HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, the Hobbs Cool 95.7 Facebook page. Your Eagles and the Knights, Hobbs versus Oregon Mountain, tied at 49 here as it's a big battle going on. As the winner will play West Mesa or Santa Fe. The other team is going at it tonight. West Mesa or Santa Fe. It will be Hobbs basketball to start the fourth quarter. A very loud band here in Las Cruces as well here at Oregon Mountain High School.
Now they're still playing. They should be stopped.
It looks like they had Vega was on the bench. I guess they didn't get the sub in quick enough. Nick Pena was going to come in, but they didn't get to the table, so they had to bring Vega off the bench to start this fourth quarter. In terms of scoring so far, we mentioned big time for Mackey. He's got 21 points, 9 points for Pena, 8 for Hodge, 5 for Archibald, and 4 for Chisholm. Top of the arc, Acosta with the dribble to the right elbow. Flicks it over to the right wing to Pena, to the lane, lost the ball. It's stripped from behind for Oregon Mountain by Gonzalez. The 11th turnover, throws it down the lane. A shot from the right block, no good, off the back of the rim for Coombs. Long rebound for Vega for the Eagles. He dribbles in the front court to Mackey on the left block. Mackey runs into his defender. Looked like his defender was moving, but he said he threw his back into him, and they called the foul on Mackey. A little bit out of control trying to get the ball that time. So they'll call the foul on him. This is first personal, and that will be the 15th foul against the Eagles. Also a turnover number 12. Now sometimes what happens is you lose control of the basketball, the defender kind of sticks up underneath you, and you end up wailing your arms and running him over, which kind of happened on that one. 7-5 foul count, though. 2 more for the Knights. 7:27 left, fourth quarter. We're tied at 49. Ball deflected in the front court, and Mackey got a hand on it and knocked it off a chest of Oregon Mountain. Now they're going to switch the call. The other official comes to the baseline at the half court, up to the half court, and changes the call. It was going to be Hobbs basketball. They're going to give it to Oregon Mountain at the time stripe on the near right sideline. And inbounding will be Trevon Del Ferraro. Doing the jumping jack, Nick Pena trying to block it. Pass to the right corner, 3 on the way, off the front of the rim, no good for Gonzalez. Ripped down in the left block and a foul call after the rebound. Actually, that was Gonzalez rebounding. The shot coming from Pacini. And they called, what did they call on that one? They had a whistle, but I didn't see the signal to the table. It's Hobbs basketball for some reason. And I guess it's going to be the Eagles' possession. Here comes Pena across the timeline. Gives it over to left wing to Pena. Pena's going to hold it for a second. Gets a screen from Acosta, top of the circle, lost the ball, loses the timeline, picked up again by Gonzalez, goes to the rack on the left side and lays it in, but misses it off the back of the rim. Bounced out of the iron that time, and a rebound for Chisholm. So Chisholm has just picked up his 5th rebound. That was the Eagles, though, 13 turnover prior to that, and we're starting to get some bodies playing around the court quite a bit. They call the foul on Oregon Mountain. That's against Julian Gonzalez, his 3rd, and that'll be the 18th foul against Oregon Mountain.
That'll be 1-1 bonus. You know, things are starting to get a little sloppy for both sides in this fourth quarter start, but it is going to possibly work out for the best for the Hobbs Eagles.
Eagles are 14 of 25 from the charity stripe. Chisholm right now is 2 for 4 for 50%, has 4 points. Has not scored here in the second half. We are in the fourth quarter, just under 7 minutes remaining. High shot off the glass and clinks into the hole. Boy, that thing looked like it was going to hit the top of the backboard, but he puts it through. He's got 5 now and gets the lead for the Eagles again, 50-49.
And we got an update on Archbuke. He is on crutches right now. That means he's going to be out for the rest of the game.
Yeah, he went down on the knee in the earlier in this contest, and not a good sign as he sits at the end of the bench now. Fade away on the free throw number 2 for Chisholm. He's got 6. 51-49, Eagles by 2 here, 6:55 remaining in the game. At least in regulation, Bacini on the far side. Cross-court right, almost picked off by Mackey, pulled down by Coombs. Goes it down low to Karras, reverse layup on the right glass and scores. Karras has been very quiet in this game, only 5 points, but now tied up at 51. 6:40 left. Stop and go for Hodge now in the front court on the far right sideline. On the right wing, in front of the Hobbs bench. Bounce pass to Mackey on the right side is taken away in midstream by Coombs, and the Eagles' 14th turnover. Pass to the near sideline backcourt as Oregon Mountain slows it down. Del Ferraro sends it across the timeline, but ricochets and goes out of bounds. Trying to come back to it was Coombs, and it will be another turnover. Like you said, sloppy play. One of these teams had to come away with the win, but it might not be a pretty one.
And they were trying to get past the midcourt because, they had the 10-second coming up. They needed to do it quickly, threw it too hard, and went it out of bounds.
Night turnover for Oregon Mountain. Eagle basketball tied up at 51, 6:20 remaining. Eagles got to do a better job of perimeter passing. Payton in the front court, comes around the right circle, extends the dribble, up the sideline to the corner, tipped out from behind, and getting a good hand on the basketball was a Raven Agus to knock it out. They're going to call the foul, though.
Yes, they are. He bought it up against him as he was doing that, too. So another trip to the line for the Eagles. Number 9, one more, and they get into double bonus.
3 fouls on Venegas, and that will put Pena on the stripe. Pena right now with 9 points. He is 1 of 4 from the charity stripe for 25%. Shot is bouncing around the rim and good. He's in double digits now with 10 behind Michael Mackey's 21 points. 8 for Hodge. And he'll get one more free throw. Sub coming in the game now for Oregon Mountain, and that is Amron Bynum.
And the lead is now 1 again for the Hobbs Eagles.
52-51. Pena with one more free throw. Try to extend it to 2. Big knee bend. Shot is up, and it's bouncing the rim again. It rolls out for some reason. And a pull down underneath the hoop by Bynum. His 3rd rebound. Outlet to the far side, left wing. Driving the lane with a cradle. Reverse layup right is Gonzalez, and lays it off the glass for 2. A high arching shot that time. He's got 7 points. 53-52. Oregon Mountain by 1 with 5:55 remaining. I believe that's their first lead here in the fourth quarter. Mackey on the right wing. Being guarded closely by Coombs, and a whistle by the official. She calls a 5-second violation. She said the defender was with him long enough as he came across the timeline, but boy, that was a little bit of delay on that one. That'll be another Eagle turnover. That's their 15. Michael Mackey having some words for the official, and Coach Ross not a happy camper as well.
No way.
1-point Knight lead in the front court is Pacini. Gives it back deep to the timeline to Coombs. To the right wing, unloads to Wilson. Backs it up. Kicks it back to Karras on the right side. Jab step, taking on Henderson. Dribbling behind his back to 2 big kids. Unloads to the right side again to Wilson on the perimeter. To the corner. Bounce pass to Karras in the right block. Hook shot at the glass and scores. Karras is starting to come on here in the fourth quarter. Has 4 points, 7 overall. 55-52, the biggest lead for Oregon Mountain in the second half. Payne in the front court, down by 3 on the right wing with 5:10 remaining. Backs it out, gets a screen from Chisholm. Sends it to Henderson in the left elbow. He pivots, the big kid. Kicks it back to Payne on the near sideline. On the left, to the back of the timeline. Over to Mackey on the right wing. Top of the circle. Head fake. 3-point NBA shot on the way. Clicks out to left rim. No good. Rebound on the left block and a push foul on Chisholm. As getting position that time for Oregon Mountain was Ethan Coombs, his first rebound of the ball game. And more importantly, that's a 10th team foul against the Eagles. A double bonus at the other end for the Knights.
No, it's only the 6.
Oh, it's 9. Excuse me. That's a 6. Looking at the wrong numbers here.
Yeah.
I doubt it would have been the 10th on Oregon Mountain. My bad. So 6 on the Eagles. 1 away from the single bonus for Oregon Mountain. Pass to the timeline, not coming across yet is Wilson. Sends it down to the left wing, driving the lane is Pacini. Shot from the left block on a double clutch and scores. Pacini, one of their top scorers on the season, puts that one down. He's got 17 to lead the Knights. And a bad pass for Hobbs at the timeline, tried to hand it off, going to the rack at the other end, but missing the layup on the windmills. Coombs, ball loose, brought down in the left corner, a three on the way for Wilson, misses the shot, and a rebound for the Eagles by Henderson. And now we got a whistle in the backcourt and a timeout, I believe, on the court for the Eagles.
Yes.
They trail by 5 with 4:17 remaining in the fourth. It's 57-52. Oregon Mountain at home by 5. We'll take a 30-second break and come back on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Everything on the line here in Las Cruces. Your Hobbs Eagles, who've led most of this ball game, but now down by 5, 57-52 late in the fourth quarter at Oregon Mountain High School in Las Cruces. Ty friend Ron Gunner Max with you. Ron, this game has been in the Eagles' possession most of the contest, up by 10, by as many as 13 here in the second half, but times have changed in the fourth quarter, something we talked about in the pregame show. That's where you try to turn the screws and take care of business, but the passing around the perimeter, some handoffs and some very lightweight bounce passes cost them on several turnovers.
Look, I know they've been getting double and triple team, but still, do not try to get out of it by just making an errant pass. You need to make sure you get a crisp, clean pass to a defender or your teammate and be able to get into the basket. Plus the fact that they're letting Onati go into the lane and drive it and be able to get those points, those easy points.
Yeah, Hobbs needs to get some help on their offense, get guys coming to the basketball, not spreading out too much. Basically, some steals are costing the Eagles. Payne in the backcourt, a 2-1-2 trap to Mackey on the right side, to Hodge in the right wing, drives the right base, double clutch. It's slammed in midair, trying to block the shot. Pacini on the right baseline. Delayed whistle on that one, but the Eagles going to take advantage of it, as that will put Hodge on the line to shoot 2. And that for the Oregon Mountain squad will be their 10th foul, which is good news for the Eagles. That will be double bonus the rest of the ball game.
Yeah, plus they have some nights in foul trouble. They need to take advantage of that.
That's the 4th on Aiden Pacini. He's their leading scorer with 17 in this game. Hodge nails the first free throw. Big one for Peyton Hodge. He's got 9, one away from double points for him. Right now, 21 for Mackey, who's not scored yet in the fourth. 10 for Pena and 9 for Hodge, their top scorers.
Still like to see at least 1 or 2 3-point shots made by the Eagles to get this back to a very close game.
Hodge 3 of 5, makes his free throw now 4 of 6, 57-54. Hodge with 10, a 3-point Oregon Mountain lead. Eagles with some big trap, 1-2-2. Beating the pressure with the dribble on the near side is Coombs. Sends it down to the right corner. Hippity hop step in the paint and fumbling around too much. On a travel in the paint by Ray Venegas, and good job for Parker Henderson to put his body straight up on him. And boy, getting a major mess by Venegas there. Didn't know what to do with that big tall tree waiting for him there. Oregon Mountain just picked up their 10th turnover. Eagles have a 3-point deficit though. Hodge in the front court, throws it left to Pena across court. He'll back it out to the timeline with 3:40 remaining, down by 3. Takes up the dribble, comes left with it. Keeps the dribble back to the right side of the zigzag, to the far right sideline in front of the Hobbs bench. Crossover, tried to dribble around his defender, and the official with an inadvertent whistle on the far side. What did she call there? She's going to smile and go talk to her help there, but I don't know what the call was. I think it was an inadvertent whistle right in front of the Hobbs Eagle bench. She might have thought it was a timeout because she had coaches right behind her. Wait a second, they're going to give it back to Oregon Mountain on the baseline. The play happened in front of the Hobbs Eagle bench. I guess she might have called a travel, but she went and talked to the other ref about it. Whoa, that will be a turnover for the Eagles, regardless of what the call was. 17 turnovers.
And they're getting a sub in there, too.
I'm very surprised the Hobbs Eagle coaches are not contesting. So it might have been something legit. I'm not sure, but just to stop, no signal. That was the question we were trying to have on that one. Inbound to the baseline for Oregon Mountain in the backcourt to Pacini. He'll be guarded by Chisholm with 3:28 remaining. Hobbs down by 3, 57-54. Pacini in the front court on the right wing. Eagles with a 2-1-2 zone, extended zone, as Chisholm will come out on top of the guard on the right wing. Drives the middle of the paint, dumps it over to the left wing. 3 on the way for Bynum, misses off the front of the rim. Henderson big time, but he loses it off his knee on the rebound from the left block out on the baseline. Never really got a handle on it, kind of jumped in the air and the ball hit his knee. If he would have stayed down, he probably would have had a grip on that one, but it will be Oregon Mountain basketball on the left base underneath their hoop, up by 3. Bounce pass to Karras. It gets kicked out of bounds as Henderson once again goes to the floor that time and gets in the passing lane and boots it out. Henderson with a lot of energy in this game. He's really showing something off the bench.
Well, he's young. He should be energetic. He's definitely enjoying his time out on the floor.
Left baseline, Coombs the inbound. Sends it back deep on the left wing to Pacini. He'll back it out to the scores table left with 3:05 remaining. To the left wing. Unloads to the left corner to Coombs. Back pass. Coombs tried to dribble back to his coach on that far left sideline. They're going to call a hand check in the back on Hodge. And Hodge, I think, knows he's got his 5th foul. He's already starting to walk to the Hobbs Eagle bench. That will be his 5th as he will exit this ball game with 10 points, 4 rebounds, and was 4 of 6 from the charity stripe. And that will bring in Vega, the freshman for the Eagles, and will send to the line. Oh, by the way, that was the 7th foul on the Eagles. That will send to the line Coombs, who is 1 of 2 for 1 point. Misses hard off the back of the rim. Loose, and Mackey comes up with it on the near sideline, his 5th rebound. Dribbles into the front court, weaving through traffic. Backdoor to Turbiatis, who was waiting for the basketball and lays it in high on the right glass. All 4 of his points are in the 4th quarter. It's now 57 to 56. Oregon Mountain by 1. 2:45 remaining. Driving to the right block in the front court, Pacini. Fadeaway jumper and swishes it. Pacini, a big-time scorer in this game. He's got 19. A 3-point Knight lead. Pena will throw it across to Vega. Returns it to Pena near sideline. To the half-court stripe. Spin move to the free throw line. Turns and fires a double clutch. They call the travel. They said he stepped on his shot before he let it loose. He had a block from behind. They called the travel before the foul on Wilson. He was picking up their 18 turnover. 59 to 56. Oregon Mountain by 3 with 2:20 remaining. Ball in the hands of Pacini. Across against Pena with a crossover to the right wing. Dribbles to his leg. Sends it to the right side. Once again to Bynum. Bynum with a stop and go. Kicks it back to the right corner to Pacini. Drives base, or no, up the near sideline. Instead, he started at the baseline. Now on the right wing. Touch pass to Karras, top of the circle. Back to Pacini on the near side. Running clock with 2 minutes. Taking on Pena in the rack. 1 on 3. And lays it high. Pass and scores. Pacini had 3 defenders as he came down the lane. He's got 21. 6 and 4. 61-56 to the other end. They get a fire up at 3 in the right corner. No good. Rebound on the left block by Pacini. His 4th rebound. Outlet to the near sideline to Karras to bring it across with 1:40. And Coach Gonzalez calls a timeout for Oregon Mountain. It's been the Pacini show in the 4th quarter for this Knight team, Ron.
It has been, unfortunately, and yeah, Hobbs needs to get either their threes going or just drive the lane, be able to get some defensive rebounds as well to get back in this game. It is still close. They still can do it. They are just down by 6 or 5. They're down by 5.
Yeah, no three-pointers yet converted for the Eagles, but they haven't shot very many of them in this ball game. That hasn't been their game plan. Coach Reeves came out with a very fast, bullet-like offense, playing some tough pressure. They had double and triple teams on Karras. Karras only had 3 points in the whole first half of action, and he only has a total of 7 in this game, getting close to 14 a contest throughout the season. Hobbs had a great game plan, and they've led through most of this game. 4th quarter's been a different story. Maybe a little bit of tiredness out there, inexperience, a little bit of weak passing at times on the perimeters cost him too, but still hung in this game and had some leads too.
Maybe they need to have the mindset of this is the first quarter, just go out there and play like they did in the first quarter and be able to get some points back into it, maybe even get the lead again.
And the other mindset is you lose this one, you're done, and you have to go back that 4.5 hours back to Hobbs with an L and no quarterfinals. That is a major motivator, and if the guy that can tell them the most about that is Coach Ross, assistant Coach Ross, because he has played in the big battles in March Madness, a walk-on for that team. He knows how to come back. Of course, Coach Reeves as well, but he's got some inspiration from former players. All 3 of those guys, Soria, Coach Shelby Reeves, and Ross, really have the game stories to talk to this team about. Very inexperienced team, but have played tough here in Las Cruces. Inbound to the backcourt for the Oregon Mountain Knights. Wilson will bring it across against Chisholm. Slows it down to run clock with 1:30. Eagles cannot be too tentative on the D. Still running clock with a dribble. Chisholm staying with him. Not trying to knock the ball out, though. Down to 1:20 remaining. Dribbles behind his back. Top of the arc, Wilson. Kicks it left corner to Karras. Returns top of the circle to Gonzalez. Swings it back deep to Coombs on the near sideline, then reached in on Chisholm on the foul. Stops the clock with 1:12 remaining. Chisholm has picked up his 3rd personal, 18th foul. That will stop the clock and get a bonus situation for Oregon Mountain. And sending to the line, Wilson, who is 0 for 1 from the charity stripe. Correction, that will be Coombs, who is 1 for 3 from the line and 1 point.
And 1 for 1, a 1-on-1, or 1-and-1 is what he's got to shoot.
5-point lead for Oregon Mountain. Free throw is up and swish for Coombs, now with 2 points. 62-56, a 6-point lead now, the biggest of the game so far for Oregon Mountain. Clock stopped with 1:12 remaining. Winner goes on to the quarterfinals next week in Albuquerque at the Pit. Second shot, a hard banger off the back of the rim, no good. Underneath the hoop on the right block for the Eagles was Pena. He's got 9 boards. Cross to Pena as he got it back from Mackey at the time stripe. Bad return back to Mackey. He's flipped up in the air and pulled away by Wilson. The Eagles got their 19th turnover. They send it down the lane in a reverse layup for Piccini on the right glass. He's got 23. An 8-point lead, the biggest of the game. And dribbling in the front court is Pena getting stripped, trying to get it away from double team pressure. The ball's ripped out of his hands and taken away by Coombs. We got a foul though. It looks like the Eagles tried to get it back and get the foul. So Hobbs down with their 20th turnover. And the steal came and then the foul call. And that will be charged to the Eagles against Nick Pena. Or correction, not Pena. Yeah, it is Pena. That'll be his second. That'll be the 19th foul. 1 away from the double bonus. And back to the line will go Coombs.
8 points down.
Coombs is 2 for 5 for 40%. 64-56, 8-point lead as you mentioned, Ron, here by Oregon Mountain. And the free throw bouncing off the rim, no good. Pulled down by Turbiantes for his first board. Outlet to Pena on the right wing. Comes down the lane, tries to throw up a shot, rejected by Karras. Karras will come down with it and spins around with the dribble. Hands it off behind and dribbling across the timeline will be Gonzalez to the right wing and get ripped hard as Piccini. A bear hug from behind. He fires up a 3 after the foul call and swishes it. But luckily the foul first for Pena to stop the clock. So Pena will pick up the foul. That'll be his first. That'll be 10 team fouls on the Eagles. Double bonus the rest of the game for Oregon Mountain. And Piccini will be on the line. He shot the lights out from 3 at some points in this game, but he's 0 for 1 for the charity stripe. First free throw up and good. He's got 9 points there in the fourth quarter and 24 overall. One more free throw opportunity, 65-56, a 9-point lead to make it 10, the biggest of the game for Oregon Mountain here in the fourth quarter. 66-56, a high pass to Pena at the time stripe. Fires up a 3, an NBA distance from the left off the back of the rim, no good. Loose and pulled down by Karras on the far sideline left. Karras with his 5th rebound. Sends it to the near side right to Piccini. A dribble across and is pushed in the back of the timeline to stop the clock for Pena. Pena with his foul, that will be number 2 on him.
But even though the foul stops the clock, there's not a lot that Hobbs can do to get back into it. 12.6 seconds left and a 10-point deficit going on.
Piccini now 2 of 3 from the line. He's got 10 points here in the fourth, 25 overall, and swishes another free throw. 3 free throws in a row here in the fourth quarter for Piccini, with under 1 minute remaining, too. 12.6 seconds left in the game, 11-point Oregon Mountain lead. Second shot's up and swish again. A 12-point lead now. And a 68-56, 10 seconds remaining. Mackey in the front court, fires up a 3 from the right wing, off the front of the rim, no good. Karras slaps at it, knocks it out on the baseline. It'll go back to the Eagles on that right side base. 12-point deficit, 5.9 remaining. Eagles with a strong performance here in Las Cruces, fired up from the start. Officials started handing it off and then batted it away from Pena for some reason. Not sure why she didn't leave it in his hands. He's arguing with her about it too.
Now what?
Now the other referee from the left side is throwing her hands in the air. And now Mackey, she looked like she was pointing at Michael Mackey, and now the refs are just walking around. I'm not sure what the call is going to be here. Fisher from the far left sideline has called a T against Michael Mackey. So Michael Mackey's second personal, 12th team foul. That's going to clear the lane and a double bonus at the other end. Hobbs will lose possession too on the technical. Coach Reeves out on the court to talk to the official that called the tech. And she was not the official on the baseline. Nick Pena was having an argument with her. She handed him the ball, and for some reason there was no sub or anything, ripped it out of his hands. And then she said, well, I was trying to stop some collision in the paint. So that is going to put Aiden Piccini on the line. And he continues to hit the free throws. He's got 5 for 5 in the fourth quarter and 5 for 6 overall in the ball game from the line. 28 points for Piccini, and the second shot's good as well. 70-56, a 14-point lead for Oregon Mountain, their biggest in the ball game, all coming here in the fourth quarter. 5.9 seconds remaining, and they will have the ball at half court after the tech. Inbounding will be Coombs, and Coach Gonzalez is going to go to his bench. As leaving the game will be Pacini, meeting a big standing O from the home crowd. Inbound to the backcourt, chasing it down will be Wilson. He'll just run it out with 5 seconds remaining. Hobbs will back it off, and that will run out the clock here in Las Cruces. Oregon Mountain, boy, they're breathing a sigh of relief. They were down by 10 and a half, and end up winning this one by 14, 70-56, to move on to the quarterfinals in Albuquerque against either West Mesa or Santa Fe High. We'll take a 3-minute break, come back with the Hobbs Eagle postgame show live on Cool 95.7, HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and the Cool 95.7 Facebook page. We're back live here at Oregon on that one here. was a 5 o'clock start, so that should be a final. Do you have that one yet, Ron?
Yeah, it is. West Mesa did win that one, 56-41 over Santa Fe.
Kind of a similar score to this game tonight. So West Mesa team the Eagles played earlier this season. Same with Santa Fe. Hobbs lost to West Mesa in the APS Metro tournament in Albuquerque, but beat Santa Fe. So that would have been kind of an interesting matchup if Hobbs could have advanced to that one.
Exactly.
Let's talk about this game. First of all, before we get into the numbers, I think the main difference in the contest was turnovers. Hobbs getting 20 in the game, a lot of those in the fourth quarter, just 10 for Oregon Mountain, and it was sloppy turnovers. Handoffs that were not getting to people, kind of a very limited velocity on their bounce passes around that perimeter when they got double teams coming out, and just getting stripped. And a couple times at half court, you end up using up your dribble and turn around. There's a guy there punching the ball out of your hands. You got to have more court presence there at that late stage. Not to say they played bad basketball, but a little bit of inexperience out there for some of the guys caused some late turnovers that caused transition points for Oregon Mountain.
And this is the third time they played 3 great quarters against the Knights, and fourth quarter, things did not work out for the Hobbs Eagles, all for the Knights. And yeah, you're right about that. They needed a little bit more court presence. Definitely needed to get each other's backs. That didn't happen either. Just some sloppy, errant passes were going on, as well as just some loose balls that Hobbs just could not corral. And Oregon Mountain, unfortunately, they were able to getting them across the line, getting them over to the basket in the front court, being able to make those easy shots as well for most of them, and if not, just drawing some fouls. I was hoping that the Hobbs Eagles would be able to use the foul trouble against Oregon Mountain, but unfortunately, that never came to be. Nobody fouled out for Oregon Mountain, and we had one foul out for Hobbs.
And the big clincher was the fourth quarter. Oregon Mountain outscoring the Eagles 21-7, kind of a football score there. That was the difference in the ballgame. Again, Eagles up by 13 in the second half. They were up at 10 at halftime, so they had the double-digit lead. And boy, that first quarter came out a reckless abandon, up 17-8 early, but it was because of get the ball up the court mentality. That's the Hobbs Eagle tradition. I think Coach Shelby Reeves took a page out of the old Tasker book and said, hey, we're just going to go throttle full speed ahead. And they put some tough pressure on Karras, got some turnovers. I think they're like 2 or 3 of their first possessions were given right back to the Eagles.
Yeah, and the only times they ever tried to get a three-point, they ended up getting fouled. So they had a couple of three-point attempts as far as the free throw line. They didn't make all the free throw shots that they needed to. But still, Hobbs came out strong in the first half. It seemed like Oregon Mountain went ahead and said, yeah, anything you can do, I can do better. And they came out and had that same mentality, it seemed like. And they were also driving the lanes and doing some things that the Hobbs Eagles were doing in the first half.
Let's look at the individual numbers in this game. And boy, it was the Aiden Pacini show in that fourth quarter. Nailed 4 baskets and also 6 free throws. 29 points in that game, in this game, 14 in that fourth quarter. So he definitely was a spark plug to put the W in the books for Oregon Mountain. Very other people not getting, one guy got close to double digits. That was Trevindale Ferraro, and he did a great job in the second half. Got 3 trays coming off the bench and had 9 points. Dropping down from there, Brian Gonzalez finished with 7. He was a 5 of 6 from the charity stripe. Also, Brandon Karras, who's usually their top scorer on this team, came into the game averaging 13.6 a contest, held to 7 points tonight. First quarter, he was getting banged up by the Hobbs Eagles, double teams underneath, and kind of stretching his hands out trying to ask for the ball, but it wasn't coming to him, and fumbling a few. Then had some touch shots inside that were missing. Did come back and got a couple of buckets in the fourth, but he was completely shut down by Hobbs defense in this game.
Exactly.
Other scores in the contest, Julian Gonzalez hit a tray, had 5 total in the game. Myron Bynum finished with 4 points and a couple of buckets. Emmett McDaniel had 2 free throws for 2 points. Ray Venegas with a bucket for 2 and 2 rebounds. And that was about it for the scoring in the game for Oregon Mountain. They finished with 10 scorers in the contest. So again, we mentioned that in the pregame show too. A lot of balanced scoring this season. We see that again tonight, although Pacini was well ahead of the pack with a 29, but usually they have a good solid lineup of guys coming off the bench scoring as well. Free throws, they were 16 of 23 for 69%. That was 3% lower than their average at 72. Half less free turnovers in this game, only 10 compared to 20 for the Hobbs Eagles. By the way, Hobbs did out-rebound Oregon Mountain, though, 29-20 in this game. That was another key we mentioned in the pregame show. Definitely got to hit the glass, and Hobbs did do that in this contest. Let's look at Hobbs Eagles numbers in the game. Once again, Michael Mackey, the leading scorer, just a few points lower than his season average to finish with 21 points, almost perfect from the charity stripe at 7 of 8 from the line, and had 5 rebounds. Again, this kid, you have no stop sign for him. He's going to get a rebound. He's going to go in transition off the dribble. If he doesn't take take it to the rack. He's going to dish it off, playing some solid defense in this game as well. But definitely a great way to finish the season for him. Even though he got the loss, the team did, he still was putting up the big numbers.
Yeah, and that's what you want to do. You want to leave it out on the court, win or lose. You want to know that you did your best, and definitely that was the case in this situation.
One of 3 double-digit scores in this game. Abraham Pena, almost a double-double for him. He had 10 points and 9 rebounds. Was 2 of 6 from the line, so could have had a few more free throws there if he could have got those to go through. But still, a good performance for him to help out the Hobbs Eagle cause. Peyton Hodge got a starting role tonight. Did foul out of the fourth quarter. Finished with 10 points and 4 rebounds for the Eagles, and was 4 of 6 from the charity stripe. That's because he was going hard to the rack and picking up some fouls in the lane. Had some nice fade shots and hooks in the paint with some swishes in this game as well. So the Eagles finished up with 3 in double digits in Mackey, Pena, and Hodge. Other scores, Jordan Chisholm, pretty strong performance for him, 6 points and 5 rebounds, and got on the free throw line several times tonight. He was 4 of 6 from the line in this ball game. Chris Archibek, another post player, he had 5 points, 1 of 2 from the charity stripe. Jairus Turbiatas come off the bench for 4 points and 1 rebound. And also, we saw Parker Henderson coming in this ball game. He went 1 of 2 from the line with 1 point. Eagles finished up with 7 scores in the game. They were 19 of 32 from the free throw line for 59%. Unfortunately, had those 20 turnovers compared to 10 for Oregon Mountain. But they did out-rebound the Knights here on this visiting court. Again, that differential was a total of 8. Or 9 it was, 29-20 in favor of the Eagles, thanks to Abraham Pena leading the team with 9 boards. Mackey and Chisholm both with 5 rebounds apiece in this game, and Peyton Hodge finishing with 4. So, again, difference of the game basically was the turnovers 20-10 and the fourth quarter point production, especially with Pacini. They outscored the Eagles, Oregon Mountain did 21-7 to put the W in the book. But throughout the rest of that game, Hobbs was in command throughout 3 quarters of basketball, although it was tied at the end of 3, 49-49. Again, that 21 points put it over the top for the Knights.
Exactly, they did. And unfortunately, third quarter letdown for the Hobbs Eagles, and fourth quarter didn't do any better for them either. 17 points overall for the second half versus 41 points for the Knights. That is a pretty much an equation that says, you know what, you're going to lose the game if you only score 17 points, and that's exactly what Hobbs did. Unfortunately, they lost their drive in the first half. I don't know exactly what happened. I know that the Knights pretty much stepped on the gas, and they were full force. They were definitely confident by the fourth quarter, definitely confident they could win, and they showed it by how many shoots or how many points they shot in the fourth quarter under the basket, and were able to make the easy victory. Well, look easy anyway.
And that game will be coming up, it looks like Wednesday next week, a 9:45 game at the Pit. Oregon Mountain will play West Mesa. We mentioned Oregon Mountain coming in at the number 5 slot and West Mesa at number 4. So that's a pretty tasty battle there as West Mesa got the double-digit win over Santa Fe earlier today up there in the up in the northern part of the state. That pretty much wraps up the season for the Hobbs Eagles in this one, with the loss dropped to 15-14 overall. Oregon Mountain improved to 24-4. The season's been kind of a topsy-turvy at some points, but the Eagles having a lot of impressive games, having to go up and play in the APS tournament. We mentioned they played 8 of the teams, half of the field at the state tournament this year. Hobbs has had a matchup with it either once or more than once. Of course, Carlsbad 3 times. They played Cleveland twice. Rio Rancho, they split with them. They played Los Lunas and some of these other teams that are high-ranking in the seedings this year. So that's a pretty impressive. Hobbs did some tough scheduling this year. They had some younger players out there, but I think it got some great experience. And the way we saw them start off this game for the 3 quarters at least, or at least 2.5 quarters,
right,
that says something good for the future.
Yeah, and they came back in certain quarters too. But, you got to hand it to them. They did not take the easy road. This is a young team. They had very little experience as far as the seniors. They only had a few, and the couple that they did have, unfortunately, had to drop out due to injury or something else. But, hats off to the coaching staff. They did their best. They did really well as far as this game. They also did well keeping it above the winning percentage on the road as well as the whole season. And they had a 4-2 record for district. They got 1-1 in district play and district tournament. So you know what? They didn't do too bad at all overall, considering as how they were playing with a lot of youngsters that were trying to get their own signature going on, plus their rhythm as well, trying to learn the game, and I think they did pretty well. Could have been a little bit better, of course. If it was 3 quarters, it would have been great. 4 quarters, unfortunately, just too much for the Hobbs Eagles.
Eagles have 3 seniors graduating this year. Michael Mackey, of course, one of the number 1 scorer in the state this year, coming in at 22.8 a contest, adding 21 tonight. So definitely going to be missing him. Number 1 in rebounds this season, and assists and steals, one stat category after another. Definitely going to see him in college basketball somewhere after this season. But a great job for Michael Mackey, also the district all-tournament team and district MVP,
yep.
And then probably going to be on a state team once we get further on in the season here on the postseason. A couple other guys that are graduating this year. Jordan Chisholm, he came in averaging 4.5 a game, second in rebounds at 3.2. Had a great game today, battling up pretty hard with 6 points and 5 rebounds. And again, another big post player for the Eagles. Hard to see him leave this year. Chris Archibek is the other third senior, averaging 3.1 a game and was third on the team in rebounding at 2.9. He had a great game too early on, especially in that first half, getting some blocks on some shots, putting some body on some people to get some early defensive plays for the Eagles. But again, those 3 guys in Mackey, Chisholm, and Archibek. We should mention Ethan Van Landingham went down with that injury in football season, came back to the basketball team and got hurt late, right in the district, right before district play or so, and went down too. But he wished he could stay out with this squad as well. But unfortunately, sometimes when you get metal pins put in your shoulder clavicle area, that definitely is hard to overcome. But he would have tried to last as much as he could. But again, this has been a struggle at some points of the season, but also some good pluses with wins against Rio Rancho, a ranked team. The Hobbs Eagles battling it out throughout this season, playing tough with Cleveland, and this Oregon Mountain team, they took them down to the wire here today as well.
Exactly. You know what this really means is, watch out. Next year it will be better. We will be in the top 8, and you will definitely know that Hobbs has improved since this season. And, of course, the coach, Reeves, is going to make sure that happens. I've got a couple of quick updates for you on Jal and Eunice. Jal actually won over Clayton 65-50, and Eunice was victorious over Tularosa 66-47.
That was also first-round games. Those 2 teams from Lee County, Eunice and Jal, will head on to the playoffs. Tatum lost earlier today up in Santa Fe, so their season has ended. So left in the state tournament for the boys, we mentioned Eunice and Jal, the only 2 representatives now left for Lee County on the boys' side. Of course, last night, Eunice and Tatum girls lost, so they are out. Lovington lost as well. The Hobbs Lady Eagles, though, the number 1 seed, they had a big roll last night over Rio Rancho, and they will be playing for the Pit coming up this week. What is it, a 1:45 start time on Tuesday afternoon?
4:45.
4:45, excuse me, at the Pit. So, again, that team is going to be a force to be reckoned with, just like they have been the last whole heck full of seasons there with Coach Carpenter and the squad.
Yeah, and they're going to be playing number 8 Sandia on Tuesday, so it'll be a good game. Of course, we're looking forward to the fact that Hobbs is going to roll over Sandia, be able to get into the semifinals and go on from there.
Of course, they beat Sandia at the APS Metro tournament for the championship about a month or so ago. So good job for Coach Carpenter and that number 1 seed Hobbs Lady Eagles. Well, that wraps it up here from Las Cruces. They're bringing out the blowers here. You can probably hear it in the background. We've had the band just clanging on us. They had the lights out here in most of the game, so it's been kind of a headache for us at least, but we do the job for you to get your Hobbs Eagles. Final score, Oregon Mountain winning this one in the first round, 70-56 over your Hobbs Eagles. Like to remind you, too, Hobbs Eagle baseball will be coming back. I believe our first game on the production side is the 24th. That will be a home game for the Hobbs Eagle program, so we'll get those broadcasts going on for you, as well as our other Lee County teams. As we leave, we'd like to thank our sponsors, keeping these programs on the air for free throughout the season.
IPS, XL Energy, Lasco Construction, Rent-A-Center, Outlaw Grill, DNC Electric, RMS Foods, Hobbs Rental, Thriftway, along with La Tienda, Lobo Trucking, Eunice Pump and Supply, Albertson Market, NMR Pipeline, Coffee House, R360, and SunGuard Precision, along with Hydrotech Services and Divine Energy. Thank you very much for being a part of our team and keeping us on the air.
Thanks to Max back at the station. For Ron Gunner, myself, Ty Friend, thanks for joining us for Hobbs Eagle basketball this season. We'll see you in the baseball season coming up in a few weeks. Have a great rest of a weekend out there as well.